listening to the voices from both sides of the House. Sometimes it's difficult to decide firmly that either the ayes have it or the noes have it. And so there is an opportunity granted in the standing orders for the Speaker to express an opinion. And usually it is said, I think the noes have it, or I think the ayes have it. The practice is that is give opportunity if somebody is doubtful of the thinking of the Speaker to raise a challenge. That is the practice throughout. And that was what happened yesterday, and the challenge was raised. And so the next process was for us to do a head count. We have gone through this a number of times, and so that was what happened yesterday. It is during the course of the head count that we encountered a challenge. And some members of the majority side walked out. Some members were still present. But there was a lot of meetings, and some were standing and talking. And therefore, there was disorder. And by our rules, when there's a disorder, the only thing open to the Speaker is to suspend sitting. And that was what I did yesterday. Then after that, we resumed. And when we resumed, the House was still not in order. And so the best thing is to adjourn, which I did. So I followed meticulously the rules of the House. For members and observers to go out and misinform the public, and for them to run at Parliament and the Speaker, that one, I leave it to them and their gods. So, for me, I'll do what I believe is right to the best of my knowledge and ability. Those in favor, say aye. Those against, say no. No! Honorable members, please stop hitting the table, and we are expecting that you use your normal voice. So I put the question again. Those in favor, say aye. Aye. Those against, say no. Honorable members, I think the ayes have it.
FM Neo. Neat FM Neo.
Build a dam. Did you create safe havens for them? Which towns were those safe havens created? Because what you do is that once you are going to spill a dam, you create a safe haven so that when people are affected, they can move to those areas. MPs have had to allocate schools for people to go and stay there. Mr. Speaker, this is a serious issue. But even more important is the issue of this perennial flooding. On the 19th of November, 2019, President Akufo-Addo cut the sword for the construction of the Poalugu Dam, valued at about $1 billion. We were told that that would be the main solution on the White Volta in terms of flooding. Mr. Speaker, when he cut the sword, he promised that in about 4 years, that project will be completed. At the end of this year, the 4 years will be I have been there, Mr. Speaker, no activity is taking place.
Jamagana Fonina Kwaba, and ne Andopay, Edeba, Asemi di Council, Ewenit, 100.9. And ne a year December, Bosomeda, etosum you know. Yamayena, Yahua Kwaba. Anopay, so yababe amanyosem. Yababe din komo. Farmers Day celebration echo so. Ekuya da ne yenra. Na yebisa se aben hyehyeye ewo kuya yo ho nsem etisen. Ene beni mabedwafo no bedi ho komo. Na ansa na no ya papa brano obafia ha. Oye odifo kase a order Captain Jesus Prayer House ano. Ene papa abaha. Ya rabu sumi mu oni yen eba bedin komo. Ye ba bedin komo e dia fa religion. Se osoma kodo a yesom ene eho amanyosem etisen. Esoma a yesom ene so ye diwura amanyosem mu e ma ne ye ana. Se we sum we nti etise woto abama no. Ana we ye we nti etise woto abama no. Ene ye bebisa ye ho nsem. Wo hwe eye enkremosom a Christosom ene asoma kodo aka wo yeman mu no sadia yedo ye ho ayete edi ohaw bi aba amanyosem mu a yede eguragura se yebeye religious intolerant se yebetimi atenama na hu se ye ma osom a yesom ne mpapa yemu ehu anamontuo etisen ana baabi a yedu no sesei yede osom no yede amanyosam no ba fofore no na no so ayo how the aman na ena no pay mene eye Prophet Isaac Ofosu Hinijuma watenase ye ba bidin komo e dia fa yesom ene emu amanyosema aya ayede ye e fa he ena ede yekọ ene nsema hodo a ekoso e wo man ne mu mede de magjerio say AGYEMANG dwumade ye fe na se medika me ba beka ho kopim se nondu ebebo na mene papa wi a mene mabadwafo eye Dr. Ezekiel Ejekumoben, member of the MPP obeba Saranso ena Evans Amo also belonging to the NDC Communication Bureau Evans in Sobeba na yatenase na yaya assessment enra ye akuafo den na ye bisa ye ho se akuafo da ye di ye aban ye ba ye mfie nson ni no kuayo ho nsem etesen aban planting for food and jobs I yield the bibia maye ya ye de edi kan ye be de etosumie no edi baby abranya na aban devote 10 billion Ghana cedis or the Bible wura kuayo mu eye 2024 edie na ye hwe ni mo se betime de abranye we ni nyina no eye nsama hodo a ye bedi ho komo anopai ewo neat 100.9 Wadwe chira de befa 050372 1744 050372 1744 Uko Facebook ne so a eye neat 100.9 FM neat 100.9 FM Hey Zolali Mama Dogbe Bamawache Emma happy weekend Zolali Mama Dogbe Yechiao pa Odi for Isaac Ofosu Hinijuma papa ya makwaba
Eyo
na apomu te sen
Adom Jerry wonso
Nyame adom boko
Yede nyame tumfo ase
Ya hye boso me fofura se
Fefefe
Na ya sa shama wudi dwumade ye kase bi pa ho
Ai Jerry enyasem ketua
Sa
Nyankopon ama ne nsa so wo yeso Ema ya dani kuro no ani ewo ne papem
Okay
nipa figa na ha ba bia ye yafa hyempa bona unim bi won kokko no
Yeah
and ye duru ho ana chese Ghana ha ba bia nipa fi ba bia ebabi na ne yekoso na nyasem ketua me no kase ye no dwumade ne guso koso papa nipa guso fi ba bia ba na ba nyambo ochira na ebewie na de no so aye come meeting
Okay
ndi ye misa se tam ben kura chese me no kase bribia nipa elande
Yeah
yo ma akopem ochina ebewie
Ochina nyankopon ya adom
yeah
Okay yede nyame ase amanfo nya ayaresa
efe
amanfo enya nyame mu ngosra
enya yaresa nyame mu ngosra mpeje ekoso no enafom kura
Wow
ye fa kwanya we e de tu obi anim ne chiri obi adwen bia ya won frɛ ye number no on be chiri mu kura chen se de ya yenso ye kan
Okay
enya bad
Good Papa aye odinfo Isaac Ofosu Hinijuma na hotel en kano Captain Jesus Prayer House Papa na koma ye bedi eyo yesom eno so efa amanyosem ho ana
yeah yesom ye region bia mu asem na titu ye de
obi ye kristoni obi ye kremoni obi beka se na obi oye kremoni afi de se de na kristofo aso dem na kristoni on na mo kremofo aso dem enam so pe vote and not a fa ho de den na e de ba religion and the politics
yeah fa ho bebre because Nyankopon to Israel for obra omoko Ezras ewo Babylon na bebre wadwen se omomfom ho nhye oman no dwumadie ene ne nkoso ne adimo Nyankopon soma me kotu wonfo e ka kire on se omonya depa na omonwe ne papa na omonwe nkoso emakuro no na omommo mpaye nso ema no na se kuro ni di ya na wonso obedi o se dwan adwen pa ne ade ma na chese sama ye na ekoso na se uwo nsusu bi a wohunu se betumi aboa ma akoso a ɛno nso woka ho bi sɛdeɛ nyankopɔn ɛyi Joseph ma ɔkɔɔ Egypt na afei yɛde ne kɔhyɛ aban mu ma ɔbɛyɛ prime minister ma ne bere so no ne ntoto yɛ patumi ma ɔman no kɔɔ so no ɛnya mu mfasoɔ no ɛno nso na yɛyɛ nhwɛsoɔ nso de ma wɔn a ɛwɔ ɔsom bi te sɛ wɔde nyankopɔn din na ɛyɛ adwuma no sɛ ɛyɛ sɛ yɛn nso yɛbɛ mu bi ne yɛde yɛn ho hyɛ
internet sɛ fa ho
ɛmfa ho koraa
okay
ɛmfa
na ɛba ne saa na adɛn nti na nnipa bi ebetumi de sɛn noama no ɛde ayɛ amanyɔsɛ ɛba ne sɛ nsunsuansoɔ bɛn ɛna ɛwɔ ɔman ne so sɛ yɛde yɛ amanyɔsɛm
okay yɛbɛka nyinaa ne sɛ wiase nyinaa man yɛ sɛm baabia ne sɛ deɛ ɔmo yɛ ɔmo deɛ na yɛ man wei mu no deɛ kwan a yɛfa so ɛyɛ man yɛ sɛm no ankasa ne yɛyɛ ma sɛbi ɛtɔ biribi a na akɔyɛ dɛti ɛhaw bi ɛne nsɛnsɛm bi wɔ mu a ɛmfata sɛ yɛkɔ no saa ɛno nti na ɛbɛma ebi ɔkyena koraa no ɛwɔ Bible mu ɔse nipa mmienu ɛko ntɔkwa wokɔpa taadeɛ n'asɛm nyɛ de no ɔno mu koraa tae epagya ne ho tia wo ɛberɛ a Moses kɔto so ɔno ne nuanom ɔko ntɔkwa na ɔkɔka nokora de akyerɛ ɔno ɔse deɛ ɔno n'asɛm nyɛ de ne mmom ɔno na ɔtutu bi de ma ɛyɛ Moses ya saa na ɔba Jeremia nom hɔ nom nyinaa saa pɛpɛpɛ na ɛteɛ nti kwan a yɛ ana yɛfa so yɛ yama yɛsɛm ɛwɔ man wei mu no ɛno na sɛ obi yɛ honhom kandini anaasɛ wodi dɔm kɛseɛ anim a yɛ ana wo ma no koraa mpɛ sɛ wode wo ho bɛhyɛ saa deɛ no because obi a mpɛ sɛ obi de ne papa anaasɛ ne kandifoɔ anim bɛyɛ dɛn ɛbɛdwitiri fam ɛna sɛ woyɛ star nso ɛsɛ wohunu sɛ wonde wo ho ne nipa pɛ ne watiefoɔ nso pɛ ne tɔbere bi a na ɛsɛ wokyia waso nso de yɛ dɛn ɛde ɛma wɔn nti ɛhɔ na yɛ ana hintidua ɛdu bi a na hintidua kakra ɛwɔ na deɛ ɛwɔ mu nyinaa ne sɛ yɛn nyinaa na yɛte ɔman no mu nti wɔn a ɛbu man no wɔn wɔ ho nimdeɛ a yɛapɛgye wɔn asi so wɔn mu man no ɔkura ɔman no nyinaa hyɛ berɛ so ɔso ɔkɔyɛ biribi koraa ɔman no nyinaa sika na ɔde yɛ dɛn ɔde yɛ nti sika no nso yɛ dɛn ɔka ho bi nti ɛbɛdu biribi na ho sɛ yɛn nyinaa yɛ adeɛ yɛde yɛ adeɛ a wohu paa sɛ adeɛ a yɛde yɛ deɛ ɛte sɛ deɛ yɛto yɛ nipa gu a yɛnya ho mfasoɔ a in fact obi bɛka n'ano atom obi nso bɛyɛ dɛn ɛbɛka mɛmu nea ɔka no fo ɛna mɛmu nea ɔse ɔbɛyɛ din no nso ɛfo ɛyɛ n'adwene mu asɛm na mmom nea ɛwɔ mu nyinaa ne sɛ yɛamoa a ne ɔkura stia no sɛ ne nsa patre no wɔte ahwɛ a yɛn nyinaa ne yɛkɔ nti obiara mfa ne fa mu deɛ anya adwembɔne so ɛna wode ɛyɛ na ɛsi yɛde boa ma ama yɛsɛm ɛtumi kɔ so
na ɔhu ne sɛ ɛyɛ 2024 elections ama yɛ ɔsom agye som sɛ obi yɛ kristoni sɛ obi yɛ kramoni ebe play role bi ana amanfoɔ betimi aka sɛ no ne yɛbɛhwɛ ne yɛde ato aba ɔhu ne sɛ ebe play role
sɛ be play role a ana sɛ betumi play role sɛ deɛ yɛ a yɛadwen ɛtefa ɛne sɛ deɛ si ɛyɛ yɛn wobɛhwɛ na ɔman no a yɛwɔ mu no obiara gyina baabi wɔ gyina akyi na obiara nim so sɛ yɛ na sɛ kɔsɛ ase na bɛyɛ no ne a na ɔmtumi yɛ ne saa bɛtu bɛhyia nipakuo bi nso a na ɔyɛ fɛ wote aseɛ yɛn nyinaa na ade ne yɛ deɛ yɛn nyinaa yɛntumi nsom ɔsom baako na yɛkɔɔ school nneɛma a yɛkɔsuaeɛ no kramusɛm ne kristosɛm nka ho yɛkɔsua ama yɛ ho nimdeɛ ɛna wosua na woyɛ ɔman no mu ni nti nso woyɛ ɔde hyeɛ nti akonnwa bɛtɔ hɔ sɛ yɛsɛ yɛprɛ a yɛprɛ ɛbɛtumi akɔ nkramofoɔ afa ɛbɛtumi nso akɔ akristofoɔ nso afa nipa biara a wonim ne sɛ wonim ɛwɔ gyidi sɛ abranteɛ wei paa sɛ deɛ mesi nim ne fa no menim sɛ ɔnyɛ nipa mu yi mu ɔmfa ne som a ɔwɔ mu nka sɛ som wei mu na ɔwɔ nti ɔyɛ bias wɔ biribi mu nom ne ade nti wobetumi ye kristoni nso wobeto aba de ama kramoni waho wo ye kramoni pa nso wobetumi ato aba ama de a oye kristoni wa abra kura won agina no eye kramoni ni kristoni na ayeden ena ehia yen nyina na yefoka ba akutu kwan a kristofo namu nkramofo nso yeden enam enti yen nyina yete ka ba akumo no se yen ye ka akokotim okwan mu a mpacho hefo da yebepia ka na se be hwese ye ka ni ye jeron se ya de netie
okay
enti eho na yese nipa ye hwe ya kwan ne nhihye nyina de yeden efa se ye mue kwan ma obi a kristofo na ye wo haw wo niam bebre mu mefoma no mo de acheme ye tai ye niam bi wo ho a okay kramofo nso tesa na ekwan ya Daniel Shadrach Meshach ne Abednego omkonya akwanya wo Nebukadnezar ban mu no eye de eye fe si ye nipa sa nso akonya baabi sa ye den atena na so wakwa akonya baabi sa ahye na se ye ma kwan sa na se ye nyane sa bajo anka unya sa akwanya nana enti de wo mu nyina ne se ye mfa osumsem
emfenwura amanyosem okay
adwempa
kwan so
yeah
odi faize kofosu ni jima na o cheche no mani nsi ho se ye mfa religion emfenwura ya manyosem eyamfom so asakremoni ebewura Kristo ebewura asori dem mo ana se Kristo ni ebewura eye enkremofo asori dem mo ana
de me hune se nipa bi a otinyam somase no gise bi ana omosum nti omso omma kwan ma wunwura
ho
na sakwanya wo hopa de a se kremoni de anije ebekọ bia ya kristofo ato nsa frɛ ne se obrana besran na fa onim de ne onyansa wo bi anase wonim onyam ekura no fa betena eponti emaye enti se wumpo usuro se usumunti anya mekọ kristofo ho a menuanom be te sesei memekọ kramofo ho be se no momkra na wudi nkuguo
okay
waho ohwe Malachi Malaki ohwe chapter 2 verse number 10 obisa se ye ya masem papa mu ni nchichemu bi abe tenten wo ya brabom na obisa se enti ye kokokokoko a enye ja baako na ye nyina ye fini mu ba ya ana enye nyankopon baako minim se maame wadu ho a na waka amaye nyame ya dum abotiefu ndi se ewututu mi kan bi a na waboa
okay
actually for Malachi etimienu
tu edu no
enye eja kro na ye nyina yewo enye onyankopon kro na oboye enam den so na onua twa onua nkontompo
thank you
ye de begu
ye digu ye janom apam ho fi ye nuanom nyankopon baako na odi ye nyina so enti saa niema ne de
enya de ye beka se gwei efri nkremosum
kra
na gwei efri eye Kristo sum ente so ba ye diem gwei efri ha ente so ba no so ba ye diem
that's yes sir.
Okay, for our Jennifer 050-372-1744 050-372-1744. Ye share eye asoman no. Kwa ye befa so na ye a religious intolerant. Say ye ntra on ka say asum gwei na mi firim. Edunti esimesi som on firim na ye de eye amanyosem ye de aba begure mo. Eno na ye de won komo ene anopa ye wo neat 100.9 so ye no di for Isaac ofoso hinijima order Captain Jesus Prayer House anu brano ye ne hia na ye di oman ne mo enkomo ono na ye ne no edi enkomo o hia oman no aso oman no papa ya ye intolerant say esoma hodo no akanya boma na say we free ha say we free ya say ye kremoso Kristo ni so ebudis so ye hwan akanya bomana
kwan bebree mu no mema Ghana man titru se me mamas bia se yekoyanim osomsem ne yasetena emu efise nipa bebree korrent dan omo tyrant allergifo ne enkramofo edan ekokotene mu kristoni nso ewo ne fie na sekramoni nso ebe mu a onhwe saade no entiase nko a ye wo se yasetena ye betena bom eno baby fo ntisa na baby fo bebree nso de haw ne niema nyina niema bia enkoye etumi ba wobehwe na muslimefo omosom esi yemfikire obesore ahmechi omo de no na watran mu de afre ne manfo nyina yetimi eti yase eje mo bi kura kaso so ye kramofo na obe kristoni na wafa saa time no na otwen na ode hwe ne bre na ode ye den ode ko na dwuma ono mu ni problem and obe hwe nsori ya be ya ye canton so ye bompa kura gise ye kasa gu mic mu obe hwe na benzongo nsum ne ade emfa wo nso eho waho enti oban na nkameka se eye na saa man yesem ye mu no na omo ya akofitwe nsem bi na no ya ni nyina na ye adwenbone kwan ya na nipa bi pese ogina so na ode pray de oye den ope na Ghana maye makwan masane ye ma no endi yenim na endi yenya ye wodimpa e wasetena ye ne enuanom ye den etena so ofri sumwe mu se meka kristo ne kramu a muslim suma em se no ne osum kesi a yengina ye fre nyankopon a ewo edin emfa se edi kan entina me yusu sa osum yenu de ye den ede ekasem no enti mu nkyerɛkyerɛ mu ne mfato ho a ede be manyina nso sa na ada ne ya modi no nso ese kyerɛ de ko bebia enti ne mom amanyesem mu nsem bi kasa bi epiepie firi bi no anu
sa obi be kasa obi ye a religious prostitute se amanyesem nti ebia kramoni na on na me Christopher answer dem na nipa describe ne sa said ya enye papa no na ye betwe ho akase osumi a nipa no owo mu no kra no ondo ne som
na kyerɛ sɛ nipa no oye Kristo ni die nanso onim Kristo asɛdeɛ ɛne de Kristo eka oye muslimi ni die nanso onim sɛdeɛ Quran no ɛne Nyankopɔn asɛm yɛ den eka Paul sɛ oye osomafo na etwa sɛ oyere ne ho sɛ obewi ni so nti no ɔde ne ho ayade nyinaa ma bibia ne ɛbɛyɛ a na woni nipa na nka ne nkasa ne dubra wo hi ade bi a ɔno obetumi aboa wa ɛhɔ na afɛ deɛ okoye on ho sɛ bibi sɛ enti so obi bɛka sɛ obi a prostitute de wo ne nyamesom ho ofiri ha no ma ɔkɔ ha obetumi abu na 10 deɛ beto no deɛ enyansa kwan na sɛ nipa no ɔnam so enye den ara ebeboa no yeah
okay all right na wa wotie me wa wo hwɛ yɛn oso wa asɛm bisa bi a na de bisa papa na wa kyerɛkyerɛ mo na ye ho ɛyɛ nsɛm ahodoɔ a ɛkɔ so wɔ yesom ɛne emu amanyɔsɛm a yɛde ɛyɛ enum nsɛm ɛna ye bisa ne nanopɛ ɛwɔ need 100.9 obetum de afa 0503721744 0503721744 na yakenkan na yɛde amount ɛwɔ need 100.9 so far sɛ wohwɛ baabi a yaba babedru asa ɔman wohwɛ te sɛ yɛ Parliament House for instance yɛ wɔ nkramofo hɔ akristofo hɔ ebinom so wɔ ɛsoma hodoɔ a wɔn ɛso twedwumadi a wɔn di wɔ hɔ o sɛ baba ɛmfa division papa mu bi ama wana sɛn na a wo follow te sɛ wɔn dwumadie ɔsom ni play role bi wɔ mu ana
yeah ne nhwɛ so na efe so omo ma kwan ma saa de no nyɛ den
enkoso wo ho
etobri bi abehu sɛ obi yɛ kristo nipa na nipa a ɔne ne honhom ehia pa otumi yɛ na damfo kura na ɔno so yɛ muslimani empo eba ne sɛ MPP ne NDC esem mu kura no obi tumi nya adamfo bi pa wɔ party we mu eyowe mpatcho so ti ase na kyerɛ sɛ ohia no hu sɛ ɔne ne honhom ɛyɛ den ɛkɔpɛ ɛna tobri bi ayɛ ana ne ɛyɛ ne yɛmanti no so utumi hunu sɛ we yɛ NDC nipa pa na ni suban ne yɛ no ɛyɛ ɔfɛ wopɛ sɛ opresi no kura ne ade na wusuro wɔn sɛ wɔ Bible mu kura no onipa o John chapter 9 nipa mo yɛ parent a mo awo mo ba abofra no mo wo no no na ni efra onhu ade da na tse problem kɛse yɛ den ɛda fie afɛde ɛda baako ni nyini mu wakɔ hia papa bi ma wabie n'ani na sɛ ɛhawo ɛso paa wɔ mo fie musika ma ho ɔde ne mu nyansa ntumi anya den ansovo adum bia be sovo de amamo na ɛsɛ nipa no yeyi na ye hyɛ na mu nyam ne ema nipa nyina ehu sɛ we na ye saa doye no enso asɔre tumi ne asɔre nhyehyɛ enso akɔtɔ hɔ sɛ saa nipa no ye ne nka ye mpɛ no na wo a wonnim na abagye atum sɛ saa nipa ne ye nipa pa no ɛne na kyerɛ sɛ wasɔre no ɛne wukuo na awɔ na ɛsɛ ɔyɛ den ufrim
okay
Bible si esa ne senti no empanimfo frɛ parent ni bisa ne sɛ mo ba bi a ya mo kana sem sɛ ye wu na ni frɛ mu na te sei no oni sɛ ni pe ya na o sɛ ai na ene na ye den ne ma na de wahu ade na hwan so ne ma ni hu ade o sɛ parent ne ka sɛ ye nimpa sɛ ye bani na wo nso no ye wo no na n'ani efra na mmom kwan ko efa aso paa sɛ ye ba wei ene n'ani ebie ene no ɔyɛ ma n'ani bie yɛ de yenim ye ka sɛ yenim ane ye boa na sɛ ye ba no wanyini nti ɔno abetumi akasa e de ama ne ho oto aso ɔsɛ de ntia ne parent ne ka saa ne sɛ wɔn wɔ bi sɛ na kwahye ne nyinaa su mɔmɔ afidie sɛ so ɔmo kɔ pagya Yesu sɛ ɔno da wayɛ sɛ ya ɔmo betu na fi asɔre na Jerry ayaya de bi kɔso wɔ ye churches ni mu bebra areho onipa na kwasɔre ne fi ne mrante bi ne maba abrem esan sa asɔre na ɔkɔnti no ye wɔ mra bi wasɔre mu efren sɛ tight watua fi ebro start adwuma ɔyɛ ne national service ne so ɔyɛ nyina watua dues ahoro ene ma ahoro bebre watua edubere bi a ye betumi de asɔre ne mra bi awe wo sɛ wakɔyɛ saa de ewenti no ye yiwadi
ya tuwasen
ende so hu sɛ ba bi a wayɛ investment sɛ daachi no bibi nso mfiri mu ma wo daachi no ena no na ɛyɛ den eba bɛbɔ no enti ya na saa ne ma no hu suro nti no saa ne ma no hu suro anya ɔkyena mi wu a anya eba sɛ ya ɛbɛyɛ sɛ anya kura de mbɛgyina de nipa dom mu akamanim ɛno nti no yentimi nya no kwafo wade a yehunu sɛ yɛ den ɛyɛ no kore ho yentumi nso enyi yanim en support ade pa
okay
wahu na ho na nya atwom no yɛ den
ɛbɔ
ɛkɔ akɔpie enti mefa kwan we so ɛde kyerɛ obi biara sɛ Nyankopɔn bɔ obiara sɛ ne sɛso ne suban so Nyankopɔn ma obi adwene Nyankopɔn ma obi animdeɛ ade bi wɔ hɔ utumi yɛ pa Jerry obɛkɔ akɔhyi obi no ne ɔyɛ ne tumi yɛ ɔnwanwa so sɛ enti nyansa ni baako fo trim enti yɛsɛ yɛ ma yɛ ho kwan na obiara na dwenkyerɛ ne bibi sɛ ɔne ne nya adwene a ɛnkyɛ sɛ ɔtamfo no meka asɛm bi sɛ Jesus Christ preaching ni adwuma bɛn no ama me nipa bebre tie Yesu ɔmo ansakra enso ɔde Peter baaye no dako ogina esakra nipa bɛ sɛ 3000 ɛyɛ Yesu ya sɛ na me pa me begina hɔ na anye se na me machi Yesu ani agye kura ɛbɔ de nsɛm sɛ plan na me fa so no ayɛ den ayɛ adwuma wahu Peter nso teki ya no nso sɛ See, son, I say, and Jerry, Ghana, my, you move a brain, just say, you know, and a man so, and you pay a break per man so, papa.
Aya na ye kan empanyumfo no kra na e dan no ana ho no problem ni wo echitafo no what do we do?
Yeah,
Nipa no odi we yechi no nim say na manyo sama o ye so ye sei ni so asum we na nipa no wom na echitafo ni mom na akofa nsama ba.
Yeah, but tight is a mokasa. Msanchura for mutai kasa pa. Maka say we omu wie krom te fa kudi na mo de mo ti baabi na mo ko na bibisa na ade. Omo boa.
Sao.
Mpanimfo ne pepa.
Na ma mpanimfo na ehye omukutu.
Yeah, won we yesa ne nyina anim se so yesa wie a na wa fa telephone. Makoki kabi a kire wo. Oh na wuntie peace wo ho. Ho anu okwa akọ nipa na asem okọ ka na abo na baso. Wo ho. Enti mpanimfo no omo hwechire papa de ma se omo ka omo bom nyina ne se eti se Bible se de be ya helodofo mpe Yesu helodofo omo mpe Yesu sa hemfiefo omo mpe Yesu falasifo nso mpe Yesu enti omo nyina benya na Yesu afiri ho enso helodofo ne falasifo nso omo nka na nso se ne be ya omu nyina beku omu nipa bonefo Yesu afo ma bra bosu nti no emma omaya aka no omu de to nchen
okay
ba jo dia se ebo mutumi den ekum Yesu ndi sa na ye mpanimfo na ye hu no bebretie ennam se bebi nti untumi nkonya benkum party ni ade nti no na se ne yetibia no se omu ye bibisa nanso esane pese minkum nya ne be ya medi nkunim di no omutumi yi wo mani hye asefo
internet say the asefo no ye ne mpanimfo na ni je ho
omo pepa na omo pene so omo pe enye de ara ye wo binum ho
yeah
a omo mpesa obi wo kura na se ni mu nipa ekodidi ebia pani bi atem a otumi ka nipa nanim sa ba bia akọ no de ofa me mpesa de no me ya antetemesa ampa so ni nipa na ka no na na kuma mpa na oka na sa nipa no osuro nyame na obuade enti onim sasa ya atwi bibia na se ya pre bibia ya nya atamfo na ne obi afiri na ahyase abobra ba bedu no enye ne awowo penti ukogu nipa no ho fin se bibisa enti ya wo binom ewo mu a owo nyamesuro wo buo enti so obi ye ne opponent kura na se ofa na kina akoya ade a etra so a otumi ebo hama enti saafo no na chidifo ntai enkoko ntokwa bi sa ama meye wo Luke chapter 9 epese ehwa sembi ho sembi sisi wo nipa mienu bi ntem ewo Bible mu na mpese me de ekasem Peter ni James ena mienu bi ka ho Peter ya ena James ni John ho asem na me ba bekan na James ni John
yeah
aka kire Yesu se emra ye kono ye ko hu se binum akohye ye party atade anase wo de bibisa anase o makogina area say na omodi yen ye din ya storage collection fanasa na ye hu ye no ye brown ye come table no bibia e di go for Luke 9:49
Luke 9:49
Yesu kan simbio osuma mo nyesa won se o kansi wo manim
yeah
mamo nyesa na anya hwe no se wabra boy obi fe na se osuan na won suan se odi bu animtia na mmom no odi pagya ne ho a e kire se o support sa no aka wo ho oso mama wo ho
Enkron ti se mu aduanan kron Luke chapter 9
ya no wataya kan brofo no san se ya na meka ne twi no pepe so de bro
no ose master said John we saw someone driving out demons in your name and we tried to stop him because he is not one of us.
And
now 15 said, do not stop him.
Do not stop him.
Jesus said,
yes.
For whoever is not against you is for you.
Whoever is not against you is for you. Jerry was at the here. And also no ye overall boss.
Yeah.
And to a makoye be catch reno. Oh yeah, Jesus. My yadi mudi yet. Sani man ya men so no. And so makoye san ko mutri my omode. But Jesus unim say yan kwane sa no so no. O de pem won.
Say ma omo nyesa. Eti akandifo no.
Yes.
Say chitafo no yesa. So omo ka bibi de kire wo mo.
Jerry. Now onim ni ato aso. And obrade ye du twem. To aso na you had ye.
Okay. Because wofa 51 na.
To me was so dia.
51 Luke chapter 9 verse 51 as the time drew near when Jesus would be taken up to heaven, he made up his mind and set out on his way to Jerusalem. He sent messengers ahead of him who went into a village in Samaria to get everything ready for him. But the people there would not receive him because it was clear that he was on his way to Jerusalem. When the disciples James and John saw this, they said, Lord, do you want us to call fire down from heaven to destroy them? Jesus turned and rebuked them.
Jesus turned and rebuked. When they rebuke cry day. Wow. What done who can't go for any say?
Yes. Jesus turned and rebuked them. Then Jesus and his disciples went on to another village.
Okay, when I say, or tell a can when him no catch it on say, so ko baby, na yanjua, so ko baby for.
Okay,
Nemo and ko boom, dear say, or more than 1 year back, untino, and ye be being your one. But no musu wagina so King James na say no mu wagina so because ka kire you refer Jesus say na say sade we kure Elijah ye bi no so munnim honhom kro mo ye ne dia na nipa ba we no de wa ma say obi ne nya adwen na opene seye na wo ba say obeji akra King James na ka kire na twi no so akasa
Chapter 55 Luke chapter 9:55 was it but he turned and rebuked them and said, ye know not what manner of spirit ye are of. For the Son of Man is not come to destroy men's lives, but to save them.
Amen. And to me pemampani adi nyina no me pa omani nyina so na adie enti omani nyina na ye memma na won nyina na ebe na say ye party sem na say baby fo anti ase enti say bi etuo nku no enu ntie ensuo mfa no ana say bibisa no me nko ne sa se panini ya sa ne man na wachi no msusu say wo ya sa na benye panini ni mu nya wo sa nya sa na panini ti amba cho mo be ko so ayesa de
okay
Jare so amzane ade ne tie endi mpanimfo no se ye be ka no kura pa kire won a o mu ye nyatwom sempa wo
asade no
yes na masane ma na ye den ekoso
enuti na a party agitanfo no wo mo timi ye tutura sem a wo ka enken wo mo party headquarters no makwa sese no ama wo mo regional offices no mo sese no ama abato emi ye ka se MPP fo wo mo to eye orphan constituencies ene dey ekoso obehwe bia na mete me ho ase bi o na obi asori na eje se wo mo sese no ama na mpanyimfo no so aye o madwen wo nya atwom zemti ase do wo mo pesa so no mani je ho
o ti ase enju bo nza mo frano a opani woni asu asi so sawa obo omo penisa Bible ne kan be say o se me man no so penisa wa ho ayi atumfo mienu bi nipa bi person kom de nkonkonsa sem bi ekopai wo montem na asem bi si ya o se se Yohane John the Baptist watena sore ena Yesu nso ba ono nso ye den etena sore ena John the Baptist no nim asem bi se ono kura no hye Yesu ase nti Yesu eye adwuma na ye wo Sudukis Jesus no time no fiku akese mienu pa na wo ho eye fallacies ne sudikis for
Okay.
na manso ayo somu na manso kese pa do mo ntem na omu nyina so na mekan no Yesu ho abaye ahomete de ayeden e de ama o ye threat de ma safo ni nyina na Bible say ekoba say Yesu obasu na John so ebasu ni nipa domoko Yesu.
Okay.
Ho na ebinum di mrika no mko say ai John nyame bebre ho no ma ya na mu nim nipa na oba wo nche na no na obo ne su ono so obasu wo nche ne nipa o ti ase wa apprentice no otil ne ho free o ho sisia no ko bue ne shop no
Bana
ko hwe ene de o customers nyina mpo e ho no mo ye den omoko na John the Baptist bua asem bia opani e fekeke ensem bi sisi sana ye mpani mfui senka mo be ya mo ye nimdifo mo nyina makọ school bra mo ko school na MPP sem NDC sem nya enye den enyamai mo ye classmate mo nyina mo di MP pen ana me boa mo nyina na mo ti say na mo ye bet e kodu baabi no tumidia preprinti so obi ku obi underground kra dia mana e betumi ama won second dia wo pa sana ewiewia no ho aba Ghana amanyesemu na ma asofo dom na ne adifo dom na dane nkonkonsafo pa chese uhunu se o mahwiase tum na o mo Ghana enti adwuma no de o mo ye de bet Nyankopon ani nchi o mo
asofo ni bi
Ghana ha
amanyosema na gare wo mo
e mo makomakom Bible say ade Nyankopon chikura ne se uyo obi ese otumi ma empata ese oyo opatafo anase ya uyo temuafo na obema wakoma akom that the word say akoma akom ahwe bibi nti na akodi baabi na fe edubra wubu aten a na wonye fe oti ase it's a fairness no enye dwuma e ba ne sa kandifo oya sape no akoye kohwini what you say
okay
se ade e be yanim guase pa ne se wonsanka binti wonye fe na bibi kura du se panels bi internase ne ka se wokura na anka wani monyam kotena se yi a obi betumi de abo se we nti nipa na mpeso otena masem so no menye den mempeno se mempeno na se mepacho judges nyina ye de ye won na se ebia wono kura kanti na ebia nipa ne so ohia wa fine na emom wa ukọ wakwam na hu se no kure mu no wa anye fe amenipa no na se ebasa na oti we ye so
ebuafo
nenso so be ye kandi for de ese o ye fe Job say bebreba Nyankopon fi heaven ebedi mi am ho dan se mi nipa trene no o se mi am 7 makoa eni manya chinyije wo aketuyasem ho na wankasa yi na sa makoa na nso ni na nyonko anya asem no so me mekonwa so no mo de abase me ma judgment na se me kai de makoa na ye minti na se me bu aten ne chia na
enchia
o se na nka Nyankopon bisa mi ansa na mesie yi ma no na nya Nyankopon na obo sa nipa no enye ono anso na obo me ana enti nipa sebi wo wadwen pa no ene no matter sa de ene matie Jeruba ya fe Job chapter 31 Job chapter 31 mama me se mafatwi no Job chapter 31 Jelly verse 13
okay
omudi obebu bia
Job 31:13
and 14 what the upper Quran na we see 15
okay yeah inti we share Job 31:13 na or say if I have denied justice to any of my servants, whether male or female, when they had a grievance against me, what will I do when God confronts me?
Hey, Jerry. Sisubi. And no be when you're going out here, neat FM. Obia Chabifa.
Ose.
Na se position bia de ama obia so hu se ye wo nyankopon bi o wosoro a onim ne awo yi a otumi judge nipa wadwene ne ade a se nyamesoro ni mu ana abo obra bia se de ope now Jerry can be o.
Or say, if I have denied justice to any of my servants, whether male or female, when they had a grievance against me, what will I do when God confronts me?
No, I said, bisa question.
Or say, what will I answer when called to account?
No, I said,
did not he who made me in the womb make them?
Amen. Oh yeah, me we have. Jerry, and who ya dear beer? Nebia would be empty. Who bunny pebbles as a woman canoe. Every homonia go body and as I've been to be careful. Because I dear we piano. Yame was 3 a day. A show. And the Muamuti and make a tree naturally. Or says a man Mumakua and Nama Funa at him warhe. A bra a hambia bedamin in Temona. And it's a young pon soria. A den a may. Now so be Samia. A dead panam didn't bebuano. And then yet. Do you hear me from your one or yes, any panels will be your frumana, not obacco for, and was yes, ye in our way from. And this any panel. Obunadi, it will any pan 1 dear, as all she.
Wow.
Tea. And ne, one would dim penny noa. A son said, Near here none when you hear. It is out yet will be found who dear so and I say, Ubun tension our. Amount saka e basa na nyame wadi ho ya
wadi ho ya
se dibia na nkasa na e de ama no e kron
okay
but when to me ankyere sa wo fata konwa
wow put your needs 100.9 odi for Isaac ofosu hini jima e na ne ye ne di nkomo no ye bom animu nkomo amanyosem ene ye soma aya ye de fore no amanyosem ene zo papa ka se emfa ho hwe se kremoni na beto abama no se Kristo ni na beto abana ma no se wan ni o se ye nananom traditionalist ibio o se emfa ho adenti ana ya na ye de osom e de fofore amanyosem a ye eno ne ye wa we ye ne e de a kire won etitaafo na behwe na akandifo yi etitaafo yi no mo de se no ama na eko e wo fom na papa de ntigura na se etitaafo no so no ye ma ye ho kwan ma bibi sa akoso why aden everything na ye nwanwa nti fat ye hia adwen sakra na ye hia nkyerɛkyerɛ party se de ne ekoso ya na mo won sem bi nso amoka o se saa kandifo no a opiepia se koye saa de no adena ne babi nka ho na adena sese onim so de ka saa bibi a kyerɛ saa nipa no obi ti wo so no na dwuma akosua ne se sa wo pese oku obi na wa wontumi abra bɛbɔ me pa na mekɔ akoku na ma okay
da dwuma no o ye serial killer contract killer pa choti ase enti wanya no a wonu wanya adwuma ma wo ba ye ono nya bi nye nti ofiri se no no sabi se adwuma wempo se nipa bi ye ba joti ase ba ka kire nse ade na o ma ne banko ye na okwa no no betumi asakra no ba jo oji se betumi asakra se nipa
because no hu ne se na adwuma no
no se na adwuma no bet ye wo nkyerɛkyerɛ a ese e kristofo de bia me di ya wo kristosom ho se won we ton mu nro epo musika o ma buebu enwuma epo musika no won se o mu wo enika ne ahode o mu de bo o ma de hu dawuro ebo dawuro enti ye beba mu mfidie su na advert ahoro a ebo dawuro na o sponsor we o bo dawuro na nedro agidin but ade ye Kristo business ye akra yiye no akra yiye se wo ka nyamesam no kura kire nipa ne ade no wo ba social media iso a wo se de etie ensori e wo Ghana ha eno so nchen school kura e wo Ghana
school e wo
anamboa
yeah
na nso nipa sen ne tumi ka boni anim nansan eye homosexuality ne keka ho ye ba so ni ade ne ma bi wo anya medi ye ho ya wa ama ho quotations wo Bible mu enso ye mfem preach wa sori ne mo ebra ye hunu se ade na ewura ye mu no afena wo hey na ye mpo no ni ade na ye fi ye mo fra brem de sa ade no e ma nkyerɛkyerɛ ana ade ye fra ne nkyerɛkyerɛ pe ye teachings asofo de ho ka asofo de ho ka nsore ne de ho ka e kon be fa so amarketing na so no baby bi ne nipa dom bebam nom ne ade no e ho na wo hwe be se trutrafo e do so wasase we su a be pa cho wa sorefo no obesuro so obeba asore anadwo because amanfo tekwan
mo
enti question na obisa me ye wo niema bia ye mpanimfo ne ade nankasa no se yetumi de ye nan si ho na ye ka no kwasem na ye ma no kura nkyerɛkyerɛ na ye ninje de entene ho okay kan 1 Corinthians chapter 13 na o se wo di nipa ne abofo takyere makasa na wo ni odo a pacho odo no odo nye ne nyonko boni o wo enti ye kekale ye ni kyerɛ nyame so mpa bet ye pemu ahode se wo odo a niema bebre ho no man pacho wo nye sa nkrom hye sem ni ade aya mekan ne pensa las me ta mekan ade e be chi me nipa mienu akwa akoto aba na se me ye sofo na bi hu so obi di medin nam se me so no oba yi a wo akwanya wo mpe so obi be keka beka wo akwanya se obetumi aka se oh beti se nipa bi keka se betanya sa sete sa nya sa na tie bet wo kan wie na de afutuo bi e be ka ho na wo draw nipa attention se ene say ya wo ya bias no kure nipa wo fom kura no na dwi mu do no ohun ne a wo ye den wo ye no wabu wanim tie ona koma mu wa ho enti me say ya me say bia wo ya boam tie asmani age bet mani nje sa de no enya nyati biara wo ba wo makura na wakoma e bata ba ko bi ho ese Bible na nkasa kan wo Malachi says so obi ye fada otumi edodo ne ba osom no ho chen won aka but emma woni ye bi contribute se wo di sabotage obi na so di tietia na kwam so ofi se nyankopon ayi ya kire o se kwaku a ma nyankopon emma kwaku nya den enya ne awo ye nemum emmoa se oboa se ne awo se enkoye ma no tutu na kwam amana e basara trese enya do kura so na mode ye den mode ebu aten nipa mienu kwa akansi na wakwa akohu se oba ko de o cheche apple na o de kasa ka ba ko mpo cheche guava na mom no sabi toilet sho Jerry asam papa na ya ni yesura de ye ntumi nka no kora nkyere nipa bi ne asoso ne yema bi eso sa ne yema we nyina no ebeduru ba bi no enti wo mo kan sem na o ma kyekere won ho afa tobiri bi a na sem o kan ne mri bi no obenya na kasa asem no kora no wo hwehwa pawa na nka ye den ayire fiasa so yeso wa ho ukọ British a English fo ya o mo nsum nyame sa wo beta trodi kane no na yen Ghana for so o manya me pempa na
ye choletes de koma mo no ni ade
sa dubri bia na on reply o letter bi oni ade wafa wonsem bia wo kan ye no akenkan letters ni nyina no ho se o nya no kwafo o kasma kire English ni o hwe wanim na so kwachiru se but other day you said this mpacho o de sa pimo pe
won se onye wini
ni o pe so no ye nyina o de na bagana sɛ mo bebu company and kokuru sika kɛseɛ bi pass for the body ade de obehu ano ayɛ den na wasesa na dwe wahu saa ne ɛma nketenkete wei no ɛno na ɛyɛ hare wɔ yesu mu a yɛmfɛre adeɛ nso yɛmfɛre adeɛ so ɔyɛ ɔsɔfo a hwɛ bible say kasa tenten Jerry sɛ wotie mi ɔse kasa tenten gyimifoɔ koraa mfata no
Oh.
Jerry kana mendi
Kasa tenten. Jimmy for Graham Fatano.
na nkantom sɛ woyɛ dehyeɛ
Yeah.
na wodi atoro kasa bebrebe gyimi ni koraa de pam ataadeɛ de ma no a
And Fatano.
mfata no na nkantom sɛ woyɛ dehyeɛ nyame dehyeɛ no ɔkyeame no
The wood.
MP no minister no akonya kɛseɛ so kɔhwɛ Proverbs chapter 17 verse 7 Proverbs 17
Respected people do not tell lies. Good News Version. And fools have nothing worthwhile to say.
okay for Bible papa no Jerry also be a woody
Proverbs.
17:7
ASEM. Kasa tenten. Okay. Ofa aya Proverbs 17:7 na. Oh. System no.
Okay, Proverbs 17:7 from King James Version.
Okay. Okay, me and I even say eloquent lips are unsuited to a godless fool. How much more lying lips to a ruler?
you see Sisubio
Eloquent lips are unsuited to a godless fool. How much more lying lips to a ruler?
to a ruler lion lips
Obi odi so no twantro.
woyɛ candyfo na wodi atoro twi no ni mama gina kan
Mebusa meti dunso chemu kasa
kasantra so emfata jejenhwie na nkantom sɛ
atra no
ɔde hye so enti wa hwɛ yi a wo di office ani a wo penti ni ade ntina udi tro ebedu bribi no nsɛm bi a wakeka pɛn na tro nso de odi tro pe wura fi ho
Yeah.
sɛ ni hɔ na
Ɛnni
sɛ
hɔ,
hɔ
yeah,
na ade
yeah.
wura fi sɛ saa nsɛm nyinaa waka betamanfo tia akyire mu bu aten me papa kandifo bi a me fa ne nsase o se jima so wo gina pulpit anim na wo preach a mu sɛ congregant no saa bere no mu de o ma dwen yɛ adwuma kyɛn wa wo preach
Ojina no.
because no de wo preach no de o te hɔ din
And no tie dia.
na dwen yɛ dɛ yɛ adwuma enti sɛ wa anye nipa a wo de ahwɛ yi ne ade yɛ adwuma wo de ofi sɛ wo ka bia na akɔ wo mofra wo manketo a wawo won kura to me hu sɛ da nka no kura yes you see
Okay.
everybody because so shia class 2 ne class 3 fo nkola o mapon na o mu di nkomo a
Yeah.
wo de ya che waso school fo nkola pa to me ka say Charles de madam heti ne pa pacho madam a wo kira de a nkola to me hu say
What time will be?
wo tan obi nti kwan bia madam be fa so a kire say obebora baby obefa so pacho so ye candyfo na ye hu saa onton opani Yarinti mpanimfo no ye o muntie yen
Okay.
muntie nyamesem
Ebusia na ye ka bi a kire oman no. Oso bebem na papa so far no ma kosen wo man ni mu. E say you ready December mo. Abato afen so na e say di ye ne mu.
yeah
Etesen.
mani gese emri be no
Yeah.
o mampani ne won ebu man no bi afede o motu agi atum se eniema nkoyi o ti ase o de waka se nkoyi empu no na mo kire se nam wesu no eto asum chen se ubetu nya kokudura ka se obi o se nkoyi de ne ebia na nani na efi
Nani na efra. Ana e kwadwofo.
na so ati Oh, now what did the or manning in atem? And quay so. Oh, na say quay and na say, if you fra, and I'm a bisa say, and we are no young dang. Wow, and tis our brenno, and na Obian fana journey at dinner day. Emra, we sharp and for say for a moment by woman yet you as you see, said the near my corner season. When quay crowds young doom say a quay. Jerry. Jerry?
Yeah, Papa.
And your man quay, I had dear Mobia. Yeah, and quay.
Okay. All right, how you need 100.9 meter for Momana Money Papa bidding Comagra 0302243540 0302257902. Yeah, I did it to you share, yeah. Yes, so my yes, some. I had the among your sem, for foreign. I can do for 1 million yachum. A chita for a year, to trasema. Now, your my years or woman in your own son. Then, Tessa. Woman and cano cre, and the fool and cano cre eventually. I can't want some. It also Brana Beckham. Who was a busy bisa papa? Your friend Odi for Isaac of Sunyanijima. Na Abemunsu Information Center, Mowa Katamanso, Mobiatum, the Katamanso for yet Chiamopa through Abemunsu Information Center. Na enweche no papa but the number ni to yama ya na wo kwa no afre no awon hia bi na wo mu a obema ho akwankyere papa the number ni number no is 0548 672976 0548 672976 papa number ni no friend yankwa amane so now so no ni come me ba cho ma che
ya ina
Kovi
minia
yetio
that's it na tie openino ansamo no kura ni the be say empanimfo edi o man so ana obia ya me det watch them wa kusi say asofo wo memu dodo na yesa en komuni bi o wa me akra metimi ahye enso ye frɛ wo modifo wutimi so asɛm na wo ka no wo de na dwene chacha no wo to enso wo se wo hyem kom we be see wa ye see ya see nyankopon ya na enwanwa sɛ obɛhyem kom sɛ wi ebe ye see ni be dru kwam no obe sisana no enso wo mudi ntro ema o me nipa bi gidi said the war can mo kan ya be see instead of obu baby like serial murder or say obi adwuma o ye ne so no pa na ye bɔ no mo okukum nipa na no kre e ba beka ye no die nyina se serial caller se bia won so de waji nti na de no nye no kre
enye no kre na wo ka
se no kre won so what is won serial murder or whatever ni nyina ye pe na mark de ye hunu wo man mu ba ko a eno nso eye se de opani ya ka ye betuma ahye ho nso se me hunu se asomasi ade we sei wodi antro efa ho yetimi ka amanyofo abedi man so obi o wa nya atom the way nya atom ene se wo begina public aka se wo media mempe tutura se mempe sei wo ko hye kira no aka kire wo man ho mo
monko ye
baby yesu baboni nyatuma mu describe binom ayensantufo ni ade we ye papa enye itie nyina yensakra na mekan adamudi ani ade mark ye menye dodo na anya obi awo yenia wutumi say enipa no wo side ha de obenya die endane kwa ha de obenya die mekasa me cite examples bi a kire wa very dangerous ya ebrepem no metiwani ma mekeka kirewo na de o se boa no ayi ano na mark mesra wada roma manya opportunity me famu south mesra wo ya church yi NCC eda metie ya wada wo ka ya kire se ye ma wo mo akade ne ade maka kirewo mese mark NCC Akufo-Addo ababae woma ma over 80 cars aduo watwe NCC me se me womo ma me pick up baako pe no the last week asiso metimi assista Ghana for do adwene Emma womo ehunu niema but NCC 80 cars over
I'll cross check.
Enye no krese Akufo-Addo abae mo a NCC check it me that's
it. Okay, me macho.
Pacho, Major so Magari.
Yetio.
Yo, Pacho, Kwame Adumbo Atini, me Frefi Adenta. Magari, Yanku Ponshira, ono producers, Yanku Ponshira, Papa, Prophet, Opposijima. Yanku Ponshira, no Papa, if you say, I saw me a deep word, say, and I, or mine here, say, what about Kasa, no one can or mine name. Now, one Maya, I can share for mine passo. I saw mine tea. I the Bay Chuma or mine be D. Jerry, Fanon Comodian and pay a question. Near Equus or mine be night na politicians. If you say, Omonomoye a or mine my yato about a mom or some be certain penny for any edicam for. Politicians, Ekasa, would send your own canoe and Tisa. As for bathing a waka, Atro, Akoshisem, a wood year, and a Sabi. Say, my Ghana, Yaquain, Yaquain, na say, to a agriculture side. And your man say, Yaya Bois, a Kuapo. Now, with me, Bois, and my and on my D. Scarce say this woman, young farm. There's a mine no more aya basa. I didn't hear. I throw or do a papa can want me. A bit me, Yentia may can't assemble. Edify politicians, you know, I Jerry one night to a bamom. Now, once in a way, Edicam for would you my name? That's Edicam for him penny for and Yanyamay and to Punyamaya. A sunny eba ebedu grassroots room, and you appear anywhere or better or do a more minor. That's a penny for someone game. Now, what the odor, what kind of quarry, what game pa, cancel what to Punyamaya, and no one can a best sunny about or minors or grassroots room. Now, you're not minor tumpo. Send your Bible, make us a bonnet, or minor, 10 page or minor. I don't think I say, or my yare, as I say, or minor Jew. Listen to Edicam for your politicians, ministers, ni MP, one first to buy panny or brapa, and two also. Not 1 year near my pa, that and Sanamra grassroots, you know, now or mining page.
Okay.
No share for.
Better say. Beba John Memoache.
Yeah, Mike.
Yes, sir. You too.
MCP for someone carry you out, boy. Now, you're the for Swassi. Now, the do election time, and as I missing young coupon. To me, a country a default because almost election time, don't want a young coupon chasm. Election, every do sabre over here and somewhere the coso. And then who ya, me say a double or cry now to meet Utibu or François. Now cry what can I say what new cry who am I so for me. And then who say, and then yeah, and then we say, and then and somewhat can I say, your papa so for them. The 31st year, baby, and Mrs. Abra no warning Uncle Paul Yansam. Men men tiasia 31st and warning Uncle Paul Yansan Chaniana. I say, Sabranding a mere vision. Men for 8 months to me, I'm so dire. Yeah, you soundboard can see a letter commission. Yeah, you know. Make us say, MP to say, Bossedium. The catcher mean or a quantum was him. No so much with the same diamond. Swung, as so 8 months in you, and yet election time, crying and I'm a son dire say, MP before say, Bossedium, my platform can see it. Meanwhile, I want to say, Miss Master Diana Bear, 3 months in. And election time, maybe do 31st, after I give for them, and Tisa will say, yes, but I'm in Chang, Naman way, where the woo, and I will be say, 31st to be more on my may I be a chain up, my may friend before so. And I will say, the Nipa Bami and Sanaba, sir, I'm not good for that 12. Yeah, bar 7, or bar less. No, who say, I Nipa Bami and Sanam, you know. I do remember my show, Yanko Pono, or Tiamu. di obi bɛka bia mensuro ho mensu no obi abɛka sɛ yi meso da yɛ na sɛ yi nyankopɔn yɛ sei 31st abrowa adano adeɛ bɛ yi no kora fa gye
Okay.
no wadidi ntini nyinaa
Medase.
ɛna ɔmde to nkɔfoɔ tirim medase
Medase Kwame. Oh, wait, anti-mention so. Michia, yes, Steven Air Commodore. Fact, yes, we need CJ and a DJ Payak. Me, I'm a Steven Abueku. Steven Abueku. And they send the man, man. Pepa Mache. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, you.
Good morning.
Yes, sir. Good morning.
Yeah, we're
I'm here to model chain.
Eddie Kamanichia, Honorable Teresa Aoun, or Captain of Obana, Omana, and Family. Truly, Kamia Kwana Kata Papa, but I mean, say, Ghana na, 70% they are so 70% they are so. The reason is saying, show, Obi to this store, or this to 1,002. You can not store no here for connection. All person are so in country and say, what kind of cry, Obeku and Master say, Obecastro. You picture the Biafra. You picture the Biafra and can cry. It is to them one as well. Yeah, most of us lay a sorry. In this case, I was only a catcher and say, oh, I am Bonita, Obeyo, Yanko, and I am Bonita, Obecastro. I told Yanko Swa. I bet you, yes, I bet you, Yamba. No, many cases are made. And you do what? Say, or the term of fear. I'm a manager because of it. Now, I suffer at the church and I was solid. I mean, who look for them? Say, and cut into this. Who so be say, be idea. Kind of catch them when you are catching the problem because I am because you are even now, or I said, I didn't, or tell you animal for. By then, come, we have to come in my woman. Let me say. Let's say, as I want to say Ghana, as of for now, let's say Ghana.
Medase.
Church members, electricity for Peter Paul, or more than connections, or more than book for focus, or more than politicians. He has done a great. They have to carry a carry between the correct path and a bonus of the Catra. When you are a Kiago massacre, a bonus of the people man, Kiago massacre, I saw you or Castle Tuba. A more like you to that guys in a who and my soul cathedral. For sure, who too far into for more. Who too far into for more.
Okay. Yada say, and then also what you enchira what they aba if I be 2 callers na yada say 0302243540 odi for Isaac ufoso hini jema ena ne oba ye nan so a ye no edin komo DJ Osaman also would here live baba Osaman so uti opa o so chia okay eti papa ede na wudi gya yen ya sha bo so me fofura se enu ache ne nso no MPP for to aba ne eno no ba bia wo mu ni MPs wo ho no wo mo to aba de yi wo me bi gina o manem
Yeah.
ena sama hodo a ekoso e wo yemen wo hwe your budget ya me yadoma next week it is a pen for be hwajeje no ma ede na di jo man no
Yo, Jeremy Edikano. MPP abato no.
yeah
Yesre nyame moa. Ene kwan so brebre. Dwumadi di ma wo. Se na hyase nyina kwapem se canteen beba na obedi nkunim. Ene wantumi amfa. Medikan koma wa wo kwa kanhie na bia nkunimdie no wanya no. Enkyes wa feel. Akwanya kura wonya a otumi ejina se ni parodo nto abama ono. Epejao na hunu se nipa bi o mabenya kunya kese pa mpote se Ghana mampani o te so nne ofamu bebre nanso wampa ba ofokoso ye se obekoso abom yere kwan ni bie enna ne wanya bia nso no ogitum se wanya den wanya yese obona baso se wanya no oyesa ndi ayemfa mpanimfo adi yeni mu kan no abrabo pa bi nye den enye enhweso nti we ni ade a mede ma won akɔ nyina nea obedi nkunim nso no ya na batu nkunim de achi no ehuro ne nsɛm akɛse ka no ɛno nso mmoa ma onipa bi a ne nsɛntumi anka no ɔno nso ntumi nya koma pa saa ne ma ne nyina ne yɛnsua na ɛbɛboa yɛn ɛnde mɛwɛhwɛ ɔmo wɛ
okay
afei ɔman nyinaa no sisi ewiase nyinaa da ɔhaw mu yɛre wiase nyinaa da ɔhaw mu sisi ahwɛde ɛkɔ so wɔ Middle East ɛsunsunsansoɔ ebetwa ɛma ba yɛman mu ne biribiara enti sɛ ne wiase nyinaa da ɔhaw mu no akandifo a mo ne yɛde Ghana ahyɛ mo nsa ɛsɛ sɛ mohwɛ ma ntotoɛ pa ne adeɛ kɔ so no yɛre kɛtasehyɛ ɛne sɛ bi akwadwosɛm
kɛtasehyɛ yi
ɛne pa a wopɛ waa wo ho nti
yɛkɔ no
awerɛho ɛyɛ ahomete paa nti saa nneɛma wei nyinaa no question yɛ obisaa me yɛre wɔn sɛ nyɛ o wɔho tɔbere bi a yɛana ne tumi woyɛ din aka sɛ enti nsɛm a mpanimfoɔ yi keka yɛ ɔmo ani anaasɛ ɛdan paa na mɛba saa anaasɛ Ghana konwa no wofora mpatwɔ na abɔ wɔ awurɛfie no na ɛkyi mu sɛ kɔ sɛdeɛ ɛsi kɔ anaa na sɛ wɔn a ɛyɛ kɛtasehyɛ sɛ nhyehyɛe ne asotwe ɛmu ɔden antumi anyina hɔ na yɛama nɔkora kwan ama nyɛ yie a gyɛre yɛkɔ ne sɛn ebi na mekan sɛ sisi a no hwɛ COVID asɛm a ɛbaeɛ hwɛ no akyi Russia Ukraine yɛka bi yɛserɛ but nokora wom ne nyinaa akyi hwɛ deɛ ɛkɔ so wɔ Gaza mpaprɛ so sisi a ɔkyena nso wonim ne yɛbɛsan bɔ ɛm sɛ hɔ no saa nkɔmhyɛ no yɛ ana adifoɔ no ntae nkɔbɔ ntimi but ne ewiase kɔ no sɛ wo a wode wo ma no woahu a wobrabɔ amfa ɛnyɛ asɛm papa nti afotu a mede ma nyinaa ne sɛ ɔbra ne deɛ wabɔ nti ɔman yi mufoɔ yɛntwe abrabɔ onipa biara no wosuro Nyankopɔn wɔkyerɛ ɔkwan a wobɛyɛ dɛ wobɛfa so na ɔbaatan bia a wawo mma ba wiase bɛrima biara a wawo ba aba wiase a biribiara di adanseɛ sɛ ɛyɛ wo mogya ne fɔm saa nipa no ɛba asa na wɔnhwɛ wo ba yɛ haw baako paa ɔman yi dɛm no ɛno no wontumi nkɔtena UK ne Europe na wɔnhwɛ wo ba na wɔwɔ asomdwie de te ɔman no mu didi no enti ne nyinaa yɛ nhyehyɛe ne mmara a yɛma nyɛ adwuma yɛsi social welfare we nom ne ade dɔsu wode ɛsɛ biribi afa bra wo mmɔborɔni no a yɛyɛ ɔbɔne no sɛdeɛ ɛbɛtu wahyɛ da ɛduru bi nipa no ka sɛ ɔfrɛ me nae no wofrɛ na wamfa fra no kyiri kora ne boa yɛ dɛn afu mmɔborɔni a yɛbu no kwase ya ne kakra ɔde yɛyɛ mpatwɛ wobɛtumi atɔkɔ so aba bio wɔn sɛdeɛ ade ne teɛ enti ɔnneɛma ahorow bebree ma institutions ahorow ne ban no departmental ade a wɔsɛ kokɔ so na yɛ n'adwuma no pɛpɛɛpɛ na nipa nya mu gyidie no nea ɛkɔ no gyere na mabasambuo na afei duabɔ ɛna yɛpɛ sɛ yɛde ɛhyɛ anan awudie na yɛpɛ sɛ yɛde hyɛ anan metufo yɛ obiara mfa nyamesuro ɛmmɔ ne bra na ɛnyɛ dan ara a Nyankopɔn te soro wokenkan quotation bi na ɛyɛ nwanwa pa Nyankopɔn te soro ɔhwɛ obiara kwan na katua nso wɔ hɔ de ma obi biara mekyia ne tatiefoɔ nyinaa na mehyira obiara nso titiriw gyere adwuma wura kɔfa baeɛ ɛne adwuma no mu mpanimfoɔ nyinaa ɛbɛpa wɔn wɔ ɛsom mu nyinaa Nyankopɔn ɔnhyira mo papaapa moaboa ma nipa ɛte nsɛm Nyankopɔn ɔnyɛ mo kɛse
amen
nhyira nka obiara
yɛdas
na Captain Jesus Prayer House
ɛti sɛ ɛnɛ dwumadeɛ no gyinam
ɛnya agorɔ
ɛwɔ Ashama fa he
yɛwɔ Ashama Government School
Ashama
Government School na Government School ni yɛ school kɛseɛ paa na ɛwɔ ɔman mu agye din nti no obiara nim baabi yɛwɔ wokɔ main station wode ɛkɔ main station wodu asɛm yɛpɛ Government School wɔn bɛ point akyerɛ wo wowura mu a ɛhɔ na dwumadie no kɔ so crusade kɛseɛ paa na Nyankopɔn yɛ nneɛma yɛto nsa frɛ obiara ɛm sɛ wobɔ me number
papa fatudwa
ɔdɔfoɔ number no baako yɛ 054 86
054
86
72 72
976
976
054 86 72 976. And I'm back on 055 788
055 788
24
24
25
25
055 788 24 25.
Ubetumi ne papa
Which we are
akasa.
free.
Ewo so. Papa anobe yedase.
Yes, madam.
Ya wishra.
In fact, Mishra at T4 ne, one way free, a free for
Amen.
ne.
Yeah.
When the text messages by you.
Yeah. Amen.
Mishra.
Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Yedase pa. Etefo ne said ya yedi omanimu nkomo. Yene odifo Isaac ofosu ni jime brano. Be kan sam ne said yetie. Na ye nyina ye de atenetene on ye de obuman no. Oye so for penny or that Captain Jesus Prayer House ano. Todo kind of ashama de utim se yansem keto ho. Jumedi kese pa. Enkechi utimi ko Ashaman Government School mo. Papa nso de numbers na to dwa obetimi afrem. And now no be kan ye ho a ye di oman no nkomo. Mama ye fa se futuo no fa mu man no. Ye nya ntro no. Tro ye de bu man. Enje papa. Okay, higher need 100.9. Abedwafo no so wa make say the Dr. Ezekiel Ejikumoben watenase. Evans amo odo so ye hwe animo. So ba be kan yo. Yeah ba.
ASEM will not countenance for a moment such an impression. What we do is a statement of our position on judicial pronouncements in the context of the fight against corruption and whether it benefits the quest against corruption or otherwise. And this is so whether the judicial decision in question is favorable to the OSP or not. And to the well-meaning lawyers who call to admonish me, I always assure them that I do not believe that our judges see themselves as above criticism. Indeed, I vividly recollect when years ago, as a private practitioner, a justice of the Supreme Court softly chastised me in open court that I was not churning out enough published articles in critique of their work, because I was a lecturer at the University of Ghana. The judge added that criticism of judicial pronouncements was essential in guiding judges, and he fondly recollected the regular publications of old in the University of Ghana Law Journal and the Review of Ghana Law. I reckoned the judge's observation with admiration. Collectively with the well-meaning lawyers who admonish me, we philosophize and wonder if our judges would do such a thing as gang up against the flagship public anti-corruption agency to scuttle its work for whatever reason. Our musings ran along the lines of, would that not defeat the fight against corruption? Would that not put our young democracy in danger? Will the judges not stultify themselves in the process? We always end with an open-ended sigh, sometimes a sigh of relief, sometimes a sigh of concern that may that never be the case. And personally, I do not believe that our judges will ever adopt such a dystopian stance. However, members of the press, there appears to be a developing trend of rather regressive and dismissive judicial decisions in respect of cases involving the OSP with troubling consequences. And it seems to us that a careful examination of these outcomes portends a disturbing specter that the fight against corruption is being hampered to the disbenefit of us all. And I do not say these things lightly. 4 instances will suffice. In one case, the OSP applied to the High Court for a confirmation of a freezing order in respect of a deceased person's estate. The judge refused to confirm the order by, in effect, holding that the OSP had come too late since the person of interest had died, and that his death had extinguished the inquiry commenced after the occurrence of death. He publicly commented on this outcome, and the danger of this outcome is obvious, members of the press. It is to the effect that a person may, in his lifetime, acquire property through corruption, and then upon his demise, happily pass on the corruptly acquired property to his estate, and by so doing, extinguish all scrutiny as to the propriety or otherwise of the acquisition of the property, because his corrupt activities were not discovered during his lifetime. In the second instance, the OSP had declared as wanted a person it believed to be a fugitive from justice. The person, through his lawyer, proceeded to the Human Rights Court on an ex parte application, and the judge, without even an inquiry as to why the OSP believed him to be a fugitive from justice, issued an injunction that the OSP should not arrest the person for a period of 10 days. Members of the press, this is dangerous. It encourages criminal suspects to go before the courts to seek injunction orders against law enforcement agencies from apprehending them. The judge did not advert his mind to the well-founded proposition that no one has the right not to be arrested, and he accorded the suspect a right not to be arrested. In the third instance, the OSP applied to the High Court for a confirmation of a seizure order and a freezing order in respect of a person who had just resigned from a ministerial position and had reported that large cash sums in foreign denominations had been stolen from her residence. In addition, the OSP subsequently discovered additional large cash sums in foreign denominations
Jamagana phone nyina kwa aba bia me de ba asem yi de kan so we need 100.9 me no ka say abadwafo amanyofo no atena se Dr. Ezekiel Ejekumoben oye member of the MPP communication team. Don't get more kwa aba.
Jerry me joso.
Na bibia bokode.
Na me adom. Na so e.
Na me adom ode achen. Good. Evans Amo a member of the NDC National Communication Bureau. Evans me wache.
Me joso. Let say.
Na me adom. Na so e.
Na me adom. You my edin.
banyamiti etiasi.
If you mind oh.
Ni mankosu. They say we be ankosu. Abani se otwen na new leader ba. Enti hina ye twen. Eno echi last me conference bi o British Council hall. Na mini ba kwa asem ne say yewura President Kufuado. Ono ase watu no ho afiade so dadada na yen opposition ya ama no kwan. One, or can say ordinary presidency, a presidency here to lie. So when to me and say vigara me say one to me. A Samson and Sia Ira Domrovro. Supreme Court to say what he did was unconstitutional. It's still in power. So and no chance was somebody can say our chairman knew there's a problem, but our chairman knew leader ba and so not be solved. When you say that you have resigned, you have abandoned your position. And the end opposition ya man kwa manete ho. But in here for the peace and the stability of the state.
I can't no opposition mobile.
And the cost, we have to embark on demonstration, asking him to step down, go by his word. You can't become a president and speak anyhow and act anyhow. Impo say a coalition what has the president said? What has he done? Flood of a far voter region. What has the president said and what has he done? All these things are avenues that the president doesn't supposed to be in power by this time, to be in office by this time. He has to resign honorably, especially when the Supreme Court spoke. Or the US or per se Supreme Court you acted unconstitutionally. So when you acted unconstitutional, what do? You have to know what you have to do as a president of a republic and step aside. Well, what you have to say the situation is beyond your measure. You can't work on it. So you are waiting for a new leader. Why don't you step aside? Very unfortunate, new leader was your vice president. Why don't you step aside and allow the new leader to continue? Oh, enti yewa Kufuado tunu ho fiade so. Okunho keke. Onye hwe. Enti me frega for. Time aso say ono akase wotunu ho. Enti mo ehia mum. Na se ne passum due no 2024. Yamanu kufi asumdwi mu onkatre fie na onjono no ho na niema wa beya wa besese no nkrofo agapade a wagege elected government democratic government obegege nkrofo niema sana ogu bangna na wasase na waje wodan na waje democratic state government awyesa nime wa begege nkrofo niema wa begugu nkrofo nyuma.
Okay,
what about your office?
Madam, since the president then step it down,
you should step aside.
Dr. Ejekum Obeng.
Jerry.
Evans the president and step aside.
I mean, you don't expect anything new and different from Yenuanom and this for. But to begin, no, Michelle will be any almost Yenuanom Ghana for AGYEMANG 80 and nano pay so.
Anyway, me introduce your topics. One, Enra na eye ekuafoda. Aben EDSC ho say next year 10 billion Ghana cedis or the baby rare yayo. Emebu no a aben aye nhyehyɛ ya youth in agric. One more eye nhyehyɛ. Say what the ane asase. Planting for food and jobs. Yedi kan ekoso. Ene planting for food and jobs part 2. I yield the BB their mind. Aben edwin ekafo. That is one. Number 2. The fight against corruption. Are we making a headway? They are chalking the success story. We any major issues. Yeah, Doc, Beja say uncle.
Jerry Michelle BM, send na ye kan kan ya chat here for. I say and so on my journey e wo on my fie ne baby bia obia wo. Na de nchakese so ekwama His Excellency the President Nana Dankwa Kufuado and the Vice President and the elected flag bearer of the New Patriotic Party, His Excellency Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, the humble one, the unifier, the visionary Dr. Bawumia, the humble Dr. Bawumia, the hardworking Dr. Bawumia, Onipa Utumi, Yankopon Pe, Ena Sebi, Uhu Ichiri, Adie, na oye nene. and so ɔde saa tumi no ahoɔden no nyansa no ebi adom His Excellency Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia anyɛ ne vision a wɔwɔ ɛsi ɔbaa aban mu the best performing vice president a ɔmayanya, the most active vice president a ɔmayanya, the most hardworking vice president a ɔmayanya, a vice president obetumi aka sɛ me ba aban mu as vice president. This has been my contribution towards Ghana. There is no one in the history of our fourth republic our BD vice president or numa echen His Excellency Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia. Na uhu itira ASEM na oye ne na odi digitalization esi ne so esi me vice president menye president nanso e wasi me ye bibi a ebetumi aboa ye ma no dachi a enye digitalization odi si ne so aka COVID-19 ba ye ankrofo tifie enyuma say it ankrofo tifie. How would people have managed certain businesses? But through digitalization and sorry, any time of the day ube to me at all electricity and what's I want now call ECG4 office and the crap ECG catch almost rain my office now men first come so be do juma ECG office na be a complaint to be and now inquiry be na obey now per credit aton kwa dia Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia the ECG app number sorry any time of the day ube to me at all electricity mobile money interoperability first of its kind in the sub-region Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia the buyer na COVID buyer you so in so ube to me transfer usika from mobile money to your account bank account from your bank account to your mobile money ube to me so send it across networks na you be ewa bi bremu ha Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia the buyer na abeboa dwumade bebree ene dwumadifo sorry fasika puduo enwu omo ho enkase ye kodwem akotade ye ko akodi dwumabi ewo baby. We've introduced the cashless economy through Dr. Bawumia digitalization ti adwadifo ho atowom first ne ye beti ye say akoka akwamukafo akoka adwadifo okwan mu because omusika gu omo ho enne Ghana ni bia o use mobile phone irrespective of phone ko ekita wo de sebe o mobile money account enti enne the smart economy no obi bia de ne ho agemu or the new one ba I friend the credit scoring system o hwe Ghana ha omo ya abanjuma ne ye tu omo ka formal businesses pe na nka obetumi access loans e wo ho na wonya text messages are you a government worker, are you a salaried worker, come for loans, come for this, come for that. And Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia SC from next year on the Bank of Ghana. Yet the credit scoring system ba ama Ghana ni bia wuti o maimu say we a shoemaker, we electrician, we a kayayo, we a pure water seller, obi bia o maimu yo kwani nkwa nya obi bia wo ye bosomi adwuma nkwa ene betumi anya loan. Obi bia wo opportunity no so betumi anya loan. Na eye mobo si e wo omaimu na only 20% of the population per and wo access to credit because of adwuma omudi and social inclusion that Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia ani so ade hu na oda ma omaimu through digitalization ti the rest of the 80% wo ye wo adwuma wo pelona na imu aye den and the credit scoring system nti ye bema obi bia access to loans opportunities o ton ade so na obi ba wo nchen through the credit scoring system betumi ahu adwuma eno nipa kono sika sema ho den na watu mide wade a wo ton no afri no ni nyina afri Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia say obi abedi vice president e wo man mu na nani so ade hunu ebiti say Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia obetumi de aba abeka say me ye vice president no this has been my contribution to the economy. This has been my contribution to Ghana. Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, the visionary, humble, hardworking, proactive leader. Yechano ene anopai. And we are very grateful to his service.
Oh, my name here.
Jerry, going to your topics, the Farmers' Day and planting for food and jobs. yɛde nkyakɛseɛ ne ayiko nsɛm ɛma Ghana adwadefoɔ ne kuaf ɔmo yɛ kua ɛwɔ ɔman mu nyinaa. Agriculture is not just yes yɛ kɔ afuom. Obi bia poultry farmers, obi bia wɔyɛ mmoa, obi bia ɔkɔpo ɛne ɔmo kɔ mfuom nyinaa yɛde ayiko nsɛm kɛseɛ ɛma ɔmo. Na megye di sɛ enra holiday no ɔmo ho nti ɛne yɛde si hɔ. Ɔmo ho nti since the 1984 I started saa dwumadie ɔmo ho nti ɛne yɛde si hɔ. Nti yɛde ayiko nsɛm kɛseɛ, a very warm congratulatory message to the agric sector players ɛwɔ ɔman yi mu. Obi bia wɔkɔpo, obi bia wɔyɛ kua, obi bia wɔyɛ mmoa a wo ho nti Ghana yɛnya aduane di, wo ho nti yɛkɔ adwamu a yɛnya aduane tɔ, wo ho nti yɛkɔ adwamu a yɛnya enam, wo ho nti yɛtumi didi na population yi through mo ɔmo wɔ ahoɔden a yɛtumi de kɔ yɛ nnwuma, yɛwɔ ahoɔden a yɛtumi de nya apɔmuden so ɛka ho. Yɛma obi bia ayiko Ghana kuayɛfoɔ, yɛma obi bia ayiko. Na topic no sɛnea wo introduce yɛ no Anado Dankwa Ekufuado before ɔbɛfa Ghana konwa atena so ɛna ɔde si nane so sɛ kuayɛ deɛ ɛyɛ backbone and the bedrock of the Ghanaian economy. Nti ɔde si nane so ɛsɛ obedi akonwa na ɔbɛ introduce nea yɛfrɛ no planting for food and job. Ɛsɛ yɛbɛsɔ kuayɛfoɔ asene na yɛaboa kuayɛfoɔ in terms of input, in terms of fertilizers, in terms of credit. Na yɛaboa kuayɛfoɔ na yɛakyerɛ ɔmo sɛnea ɛwɔ si yɛyɛ kua na kua hoyɔ ɛho abamfasoɔ ama ɔman. Ɛno ɛna yɛ anisade hunu a Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo ɛde si nane so ɛsi ɔman yi betumi ayɛ kua no ama ɛho abamfasoɔ. Ɔman yi betumi ayɛ kua no ama enuane abu ɛwɔ ɔman mu na yɛnya aduane di. Yɛnya aduane di so na yɛnya excess a yɛtumi astore na yɛde aboa yɛ school feeding program a yɛma a yɛwɔ school yɛde feed wɔn right from the basic school level up to the secondary school level. Yɛbɛnya bi ɛde supply yɛ schools na yɛtumi export bi. Nti on the 17th of April 2017 ɛwɔ go so ɛna His Excellency Dr. Muhammadu Bawumia ɛne the President of the Republic His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo ɛkɔ yɛ na ɔkɔpa dwumadie ho dwuma. Na wo share the various models a na ɛwɔ hɔ a yɛde si yɛni so ɛsi yɛba abe make kuayɛ attractive. Yɛba na kuayɛ no Ghanafoɔ abehu sɛ yɛka kua ɛnyɛ the original the everyday kuayɛ na yɛyɛ no ba wei yɛ kuayɛ a yɛde nimdeɛ, kuayɛ a yɛde modernization abemu, kuayɛ a yɛde assistance any help abemu na ma kuayɛ ayɛ attractive, ayɛ akɔnɔ, ayɛ de ama Ghanafoɔ. Na yɛhwɛ mu a phase 1 no etumi aboa to the tune of over 3 million Ghanaian farmers across the country. Almost benefiting from various inputs, almost benefiting from various assistance in terms of money. Into kuayɛ deɛ ɛda His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo akoma so. Now after 6 years, the government sat down and our year post-mortem or year audit. And my own who say it was see ye happy ye game in terms of agriculture. Now we share omayimu and nema be enuanea ye ko ye fie mu a very common. Ye di e be ye bro, e be ye sorghum, e be ye millet, e be ye tomatoes, e be ye onions, and e mo ye di ni more ye fie no. Abana who said still ye wo sinto kakra. Now we share Ghana haswa every year our demands for onions alone over 170,000 metric tons. Na ne yetumi produce ewo man ni mu no entimi meet demand. Enti yetimi ekra bi fi nkofo akro so eba emang yesika na wosenka yetina oman mu no ebi ekodi nkofo akro so. Wo share your tomato so a is in the excess of over 170,000 metric tons. And also ya ho den ne yetumi produce ewo man mu no entimi emiti capacity no. Enti na eho hia esi moving forward no ye betumi ameki sure si ye tomatoes a ye dua wo man mu so no ye betumi ama ahoden akomu ne ne nyansan be komu ene tumi be komu na ye tumi produce ye tomatoes a ye produce ye consume e wo man mu o hwe emo a ansan ye befa akonwan no na the capacity a ye tumi produce e wo man mu e just over 600,000 metric tons by a yearly demand as a country to the tune of 1.5 million metric tons of rice consumption in Ghana. Now, so through planting for food and jobs, abiding this in so now phase 1, we're able to increase our local production capacity of rice from 667,000 metric tons. Now we are almost 1.2 million metric tons. And look at some of the success story of the phase 1 of planting for food and jobs. Aban ani so ade hu no say mfie num a eda ya nimu through phase 2 of planting for food and jobs no ye betumi a api ye game no say na ye be fa free 600,000 metric tons a ene ye da drew 1.2 million metric tons no ye betumi a produce the 1.5 million metric tons na ye consume a wo man mu no na empo ya export to be na wo hwe emo a ye produce wo man mu amageri na the other side fortunately or unfortunately ne say ye mo a ye produce no ye nuanom Nigeria for no epeye mo no ebe fa ye mo no ko omukro mu more chen sene ye yotumi consume wa ha na nhwehwemu abeda de ama ye hu say the Ghanaian taste for refined rice no e was true ntaban so ahu some of the loopholes in the rice industry ahu say e was see 30 factories na yotumi refine some of your rice no are producing locally no to the taste of the Ghanaian. Into the next 5 years, the next phase of the planting for food and jobs no, we are going to make sure say a more ID we'll be able to produce and even export some for foreign exchange. You buy a nam and so we import over 300,000 metric tons of poultry products. Now we share near your produce locally. It's just about 5% of such consumption and you're producing it locally. Buying it through planting for food and jobs phase 2 no. Within 5 years no, we will be able to produce the over 300,000 metric tons of poultry you're producing or you're consuming or mine. We'll be able to do it, manufacture, produce it in this country. Now you're to me be self-sufficient in terms of poultry production. Say na Aban identify over 300 poultry farms across the country. Aban no eba abe revamp asiesie no ama hoden ama input ama financial assistance. Now your poultry farms over 300 wo man mu no aban betumi e de ahoden ni sika ene nimde ene machinery ebe shem na watumi a revamp your poultry sector no. And also etwemu this year alone from October to December aban si day old chicks no or produce now was supply 4.5 million day old chicks. Ama poultry farms no vaccines and startups are on to me the rare broilers no ama yanya enam poultry products ewo your market any your cold stores. Now even the Ministry of Trade and Industry mentioned 4.5 million day old chicks, but even if you go into the budget, the finance minister Krampo the ahoden be shemu kena to the tune of 5 million day old chicks buying from October to the end of this year. This month December no aban ebeche ama poultry farmers across the country. Ese munji this is aban entoboa aban ahoden awode ehye na motumi a produced poultry na ye hia awo man no. Moving forward next year 2024 government is going to produce and supply 18 million dead old chicks. Vaccines ye hia ye betumi da wo ye impanie na o ma hoden ene yare into me emetori poultry national ni nyina aban de bema mo startups so packs amuhia so aban de bema mo nti aniso ade hunu eba poultry production so a eno so integral part of the planting for food and jobs phase 2. Our government is committed to supplying the day old chicks, the vaccines and all other startups here after say wa revamp the poultry farms across the country no aban de we mu nyina bema mo na ye hwe kuaye so a na ye hwe sikasem efesi kuafo any omadwuma omudia aban tena ase no through phase 1 of planting for food and jobs no aban hu say about 85% of agricultural input in terms of finances no echo into land preparation, acquisition of machinery, agricultural input including fertilizers and labor. Say offer obi a oye emo 1 hectare of land about 40,000 Ghana cedi echo into land preparation and machinery. Almost 6,000 cedis echo into input. Almost 5,000 cedis echo into labor and other costs. Na se empo aban se wo so wase na wa ma emo akodua na kuani no ekofa 40,000 cedi akọ prepare na sase na kuani no ekofa almost 6,000 cedis akoto input na kuani no ekofa almost 5,000 cedis akoto setting and labor odi beye na fuo nti aban so hu ye no na o kan se debi mentena ho because me ka se me so kuani na snipo a ohia almost 60,000 cedis or 50,000 cedis plus. Say odibeye 1 hectare of rice farm alone. Into phase 2 of the planting for food and jobs no. Ni true pan say aban introduce be a friend input credit facility. Aban say sikasem na hinder the farmer. Say want to mean produce a lot. Want to me enye kuaye no my home man faso ema no ene oman no. Sa sika na nka wo hia about 50,000 cedis na kuane ni hia e de beye 1 hectare of rice farm alone no abanya bamu ese this time round there input credit facility na me de ba no me be so ekuafo asene na me de sika ahye kua mu such that sika sem emeye akwansidie emma kuani bia ewo man mu. Now we are moving from the ordinary subsidiary farming into credit input farming, where aban be so kuafo mu na sika sem se wo bank akobo besia na eho abeye nsensem kuani so a oni guarantor a okobo besia a wontimi nya bi no enya se kuani no na sebe oya kwadro ana on pese o produce ne niema enso aban si me be yit sa the barrier no efri ho na sika sem emeya consider ema kuani bia. So through phase 2 of the planting for food and jobs, through the input credit facility, government is going to absorb those monies to making sure say on kuani bia or pesi oye najuma from tomato, from maize, from millet, from sorghum, and the poultry na ye kan ni nyina no aban be so wasene na wo disikasem credit amawo and yes say wo na akobo besia no e wo bank ye de nsihu bia abeta wechi a wontimi ntua aban a pumping over 10 billion Ghana cedi 2024 alone, 10 billion Ghana cedi 2024 alone into agriculture. Into ne beka kire ye papa mo ye nuanom ye maame mo a mo into agriculture no kuaye no say asemde through government of Ghana anado danko Ekufuado and Dr. Mahamadou Bawumia aban ye de aba no obia nsomu na on availing no for such opportunities. Now oko into the budget power finance minister ebe kan ye ekire oman na aban be yi taxes na ewo machines any other equipment ye de yekua ni nyina free ho we ni nyina akire aban no chi mo popapa a wo ema at the agri sector. Enti planting for food and jobs phase 2 ni die wo yekua ni a na ehu hia na se obe avail wo ho because en nepa wom aban ahu mo mre ye ewo kuaye mu aban ahu bebi a na ahokire ewo kuaye mu ese oba abesom asene na asemo de enese yetimi ye no yie na obi ade ne ho gimo na aban so play ni part na kuani so play ni part na journalist obi bia yetumi boa emma sa phase 2 yi eye adwuma within 5 years ye niema nketenkete enuanu ma ye di wo ye fie enum ne de ye betumi a produce ni nyina wo man mu enti ye ma ye nsomu yie na ye mohu dwa enkyere omanfo na ye kankyere amanfo say aban eye committed budget no sika no aban edi behye no ni nyina wo parliament approve sika na from next year ordinarily are started because this year they are producing about 5 million day-old chicks for our poultry farmers alone. And government has already taken the lead to invest over 600 million Ghana cedi this year alone into phase 2 of planting for food and jobs. Na ne yema nika eyemi ahotoso na yemi de ewo phase 2 of planting for food and jobs ni nyina ne say Majeri mmabunu a yesu say enyuma eni oman mu no agric sector no eye baby a ebetumi de yani ahwe. Na wo share phase 2 no so a we have the youth model amongst or part of the phase 2 for planting for food and jobs. I a friend youth in agriculture model. Now youth in agriculture model no and no so anything. Abai say agriculture is the backbone of our economy. Oko Netherlands, they have just about 250,000 farmers. But top 3 countries in the world are producing nuane edi biko nkofo ekroso Netherlands eka ho. Why? Because aban no ema omo the assistance omo hia ema omo je kuaye no on a large scale such that they are able to produce more, and when they produce more they are able to feed their country and send some outside for foreign exchange. So Netherlands, just about 250,000 farmers, they are able to produce, feed the population and send some out for foreign earners. And no and aban na who say baby aye dru no ye pesi kuaye no eye akono ema bruna e was see take a step further. No, every day, no, we can't do one thing all the time and expect different results. So now, aban say mabunu monfa mo ho nyi phase 2 for planting for food and jobs. Now youth in agric model no aban say oba now your babunu a obepe mo into twos. Now a mabunu mienu bia no aban amount 10 acres of land for free. Say wow asase dia ene na akadwen what's it ende into government be mabunu no in pairs of 2 10 acres of land for free. Uwia inputs are seedlings, the fertilizers, extension services. Aban is going to employ over 4,000 extension officers to come and teach and direct Kuyaye Ewo Maimu through planting for food and jobs phase 2. The extension services are free. Machinery mube here for moon phone bibia free. Aban amount and yema we nyina for free no. Aban say every month because oye obabunu na uni adwuma woye na wofo na wodo no anayemwa no asebi ore no omo enso aba ema wonti no aban be so wasene na every month aban ama babunu bia owo into the phase 2 of the planting for food and jobs no monthly stipend through the youth employment agency. Inti aban ema wasase ema seed ema fertilizer ema extension services ema direction for free no aban sim every month mesa amount kakra ato ho esi obabunu fa we ebo ho abra wo ye wafuo na sa afuo no wo ye wie na ono bae no so eso a aban say 80% of no bae na obetwa no ni nyina ye wo obabunu no odia 20% pe ene beba aban ho na aban di kakra atete nika a ekọ into the whole value chain no na yedimi bi afidi a school feeding program your secondary schools na yedi to me adibi afidi but 80% of your yield no ni nyina aban se eyewo de na aban uwie so aban nya wo keke aban na ekope market amount
because
to
ready
making
market
sure
is very important.
the ready market
which
is
are planting for food
very
and
important.
Jobs. One no amount for no eji but na for bedo no by na wie na for no so
ni nyina can review any post-mortem
because it's aban you ready to buy
exactly into aban be creative market no such that obabru no utwa wumfo na ana wa oye commercial farmer no utwa ono baye na enya afe na wa wo chinchin akope atofo aban no be creative market no to bring industry players around to come and buy your produce for you into aban enya wo mu keke assistance na aban da ma oni nyina no any 80% of the yield na aban no de cha wo nyina no aban si minya wo keke me sa akope market na ma na wa ton ono baye no na wo disika no ato bottom enti wo yes adwuma we nyina for 5 good years after 5 years no efuo no abeye wo de as obabu no se ne a wo be do na emho emfaso e ba nyina no eye wo de it just the first 5 years nepe na 20% of the yield no ebeko aban ho after 5 years the rest of the farming no ni nyina eye wo de enti majeri ye bokuafo abaso na ye dwendwen ye kua asem ho no na e wose yetimi ton aban ni so ade hu no eye planting for food and jobs oko budget ni mu a aban da hyemu ye betete taxes so ye yi taxes e free ho for agricultural inputs na agricultural machinery planting for food and jobs so aban e da sin so kotin na wo hwe ye GDP growth in agric before ayeba aban mu a it was around 2.5-2.7% through the deliberate effort of His Excellency Anado Danko Ekufuado and Dr. Mahamadou Bawumia, the visionary leaders. We are able to grow our GDP growth from the agri sector alone to an average of 6.3% since ayeba abaimu. And sa untimi nya sa growth abra awu fodi won sa untimi nya sa growth abra awu putting in effort, and the effort and the gains we have made as a result of the planting for food and jobs program na aban de bae no nti yema ye nyina nsom na journalist mo mboa because ye nuanom so nya adwuma ye na kuaye no ebe ye akono na obi ade ne ho gimu a ye nim the importance of it, the fact that we be able to grow what we eat and even export for foreign exchange. Nti yema ye ho 5 years na obi anfa ne ho enyimu so Ghana will become self-sufficient in terms of food production and even export food through planting for food and jobs.
Okay, enra na ye kuafo da ente yeguso a ye dwenjen ye Ghana kuafo ho na ye bisa aben hyehyɛ de ma kuayo no etese Evans
Mark say Batista asemi na wo hwese na menua ebre na o repeat ni nsem na eyeya na me besan so say bisa na dey ntina Farmers Day no yeru akufu adubai once sano wasesa 1st July wasesa Founders Day ade ntina wasesa Farmers Day ya dey yeru Lawrence or the buy wabra 1983 edua ho kwa hwe enam niema na enkosunti ema or the Farmers Day buy so beboa na yedi abo akuafo abaso yedi ahye omon kran amomo atumi ayo mo adwuma yeru akufo adubae no in the Republic Day 1st July wabesesa no osi Constitution Day no de aba wabanso abeyi Founders Day anko person de no wo fa din kra na ye ide ye mu se ne odi first Farmers Day chi menu aka nsempi na kakra bi na mpese meka etoto but me hu the whole thing say a campaign slogans not even strategy slogans senior last 2020 no mo kwa no mo akate sword 2020 almost the sword cutting see almost the farmers any seedlings na ye dey be the civic Ghanaians for 5 years say aka next year any the next 4 years enti mesreka Ghana fo omu fi se Ghana fo ada no mu enyane nti ye de agric phase 2 ba bedada Ghana fo nyame hu omomobo planting for food and job ye program bia mobile no number 2 loan NDC aban akaje so the baby boost agriculture mobile na mo man din MPP is very good in Strugania. One district, one factory. One district, one done. 1 million for every constituency every year. Nihina ye deceptives. Mobile na munemi wenzu planting for food and job. Without any policy formulation, directive said we porte niebe na mukura na sana sikana yeje yaye mwa sikana basa. Yeru afi ya koto di anko de de kura ko di president ne fa so onyae but by the end of the planting for food phase 1 no inflation was over 50%. Food inflation was over 50%. Metise menu aneka say Nigeria food dey mo se ne it was over 50%. What have you achieved? They say I was a video obema seedling obema nkoko na oma nkoko na de na ombedi. I hear something like giving credit. Hey, mo person be good banks biom. Mo buy banks edebosia magana fo a anga ese mo to mo bojiji scan na mo di good banks ni hina. Obi adwuma o ma na duane na mo gugunu. Ye wura pa agunde wakadu prison. Obaya na sika na NDC aban de man no na mo be sisi sika no. About 100 million mo sisi sika no to na mo good bank ne account. If market every day tie sika no. Sisa machichi weni bo nipa ne di ma mehwe ontumi ntua wogu na adwuma wachi ni same sika se 100 million kwa ne oda ho ho a anka de so do ye investment bi a anka be ya returns or the tua ne kan bi but you seize the money collapse the business and ask him to pay when to me ntua would na conserve and I will see you give farmers access to credit enti planting for food phase 2 no 2024 campaign slogan, not even strategy, slogan. Yes, just to deceive Ghanaians. Now, I feel now, Yaba Power. Many are concessive say on the 7th, near the year Kufa do basis. Near Mokekano, I say, Fina, Yatua Baby, Ama President Kufa do Edin Kunim, December 7th, on the 7th January, near the basis. So these are the policy programs. Ya paka ya de Ghana for to tackle the agriculture. Meanwhile, you have been in government for 7 years. Aka 1 year. You are projecting and predicting for another 4 years. What did we see? What are the benefits? What did we see? Baby Papa Benny Nyai. I was 7 years no. Diana Koso. Ediano why de Diana boy ding. Our Ghana ha. We hear inflation according to statistical service. Inflation, food inflation, quite about some 50% plus. But so food inflation 50% plus. Now Ghana for the whole
food inflation is say no 50%.
It won't even be more. Yes,
yeah,
it won't be over 50%.
Yeah, it's around 30.
Meanwhile, we have just finished the planning for food, specific policy program for food. And food inflation ran. How was the program being implemented? Say a year program specifically targeting food. Now inflation in food has gone as far as 50 plus. Diana de buy. Eye kesa na radio na TV ni eka. Menu ya bobo ni maybe si ebe mo asase. Wo kenya asase wo mfa na ode amamu. Anka wo kanu akase akaje asase wo ahase. Inti the land has already been divided. Wo bi obe ready bi ebe mo obi. Anka no abodin say dey o chicken no ye breeding mu ha. Inti, are you ready? You have only 1 year. Less than 1 year. We are going for another election. Only 1 year. Matisa says here, youth start. What did you do to NAPCO? NAPCO. Oh yeah, who slogan? You can share Independence Square. Who try t-shirt? Who party? Kenke party. DNC. We implanted with that unceremonially. Over 1 year, allowance for 1 year. You couldn't pay. Now one more aquaka trefi. What did baby say you start at this crucial moment? Oh,
and then you start in a year.
No, the point is the time is overdue. Next year is a campaign year. We are in December. Next year, we say it's a campaign strategy. Omo person that Ghana for. Omo titi scam Ghana for J. What J? You discard ba Ghana sika J. Na to abano. Mo wani na ho. Na to aban ma Ghana enkonkan. Mo wani na ho. Na to abano. Na ma inflation, food inflation enko fom. Mo wani na ho. Na ma 24-hour economy na enye adwuma. Mo wani na ho. Na nyuma no yemie bi. We are going to tackle specific areas of import, not import restrictions. Sugar, they import so much sugar. They tackle Commander Sugar Factory. If you import so much rice, we go to Avemi rice. These are specific policy directions. You mention names, but don't just come and give rhetoric like the president has been doing. Specifically, we are tackling this. You look at the results and the outcome. What's now 7 years? If you now obey planting for food, phase 2, ubetiti scammer. Ghana for akwada bia branti bi sika ni beba bedi nsam. Discano eye Ghana sika. Wan dia umbe wie kegu omo kafesim. Je obi odi sika be bro said to abade je because you are chicken for 7 years. You need says for 7 years. If you want a Juma waya, look at Uniba UT Bank. Papa na Juma waya at his old age, ye go Juma no afa saseno. Afa not die atun turn and die. And this is the monies which is coming to Giscano. Ghana sika esia di ye mpuntu Juma ya chegu ye bottom, which they spend almost about 80 million for 1 day primaries. Yerobamia was giving 400 cities to every person, over 20,000 people. He was giving them 400 cities. Yerobamia Kenya says Sikawa. No ko China Cassidy is cannot their campaign. Says Sikaya or chairman delegate Unyano or Himfa. You know, because I say, maybe planning for food and job. I am now come to give you seedlings. I'm come to give you that. It's a deceptive. And that's the hallmark of MPP. He was talking about the digitization. You we have Ghana Data Center. Who did it? Fiber network has been led by President Mahama. You just come to try to sloganizing it, preaching, making noise of it. But the real infrastructure foundation, the basis, the fundamental this man has been preaching, has been laid by President Mahama. I see me TV huna former Minister of Communication Obabe now say Buama Obeka said we are doing interpublication. You can shift from this ship and that. And yeah, you about me no babe. Specifically, I dare you about me to me yapa any drone. Drone or didn't know echo. A duma pa you about me buy no. Wabe ya pa manaseni any drone yedi mojako. Now we are vice president. Now my yedi drone echo wa bra. Ubetunye chakwan. That can contribute to other factors and sectors of the economy. So we acquire food access to food very easy, healthcare very easy. It will serve so what's the year for drone and for call. You spend the taxpayers' money, millions of cities to go and buy drone and transporting medicine. In the expense of roads, in Kofuna Kesabe to me faso akayo munuma.
Drone is on. There's a problem.
Yes, that's what our economy defines the scarcity of resources and innumerous wants. When you apply the resources, add integrity, and allow that thing that God give it to you. Let it work. Ucha akwanya kabeko. Nkrofo economic to farmers farm produce aka hon beba out. Suku fo betumi anya akwanya ko. Neme pie adwuma bukura beko ka bie na adwuma ho. Light beko ho. Na ufa drone fa hwim kwa. Die biom na beko. But this money used to buy the drone, you can use that money, even if it's not enough, add some to it and construct the road there. Yet the drone says access to the place is not more trouble. Why don't you tackle that basic thing rather than bring it? So the only thing Baumia, President Baumia has been able to do and do it well is drone infrastructure. DMU, economy not in tap answer. Today when you take 10 Ghanaians, 8 of them are crying. Apart from Krofuna Eben government na omunyanka kranka gu omubutum. The rest are weeping. They are gnashing their teeth. And this government has nothing to offer. Have nothing to offer. It's deceiving people of digitalization. What are you coming to digitalize? When there's no food, how do you digitalize? We are importing tons of sugar. Meanwhile, we have sugar factory here, which is rusting. And which yenya lithium, what they are mabrofo. Last time I can baby says Ghana gas. E baye kufa do mreso akod be mobinum. Se Ghana gas ban you kufa do netiswa akod be mabrofo. This one person the lithium no mano. But me free Ghana for so let's rise up against it. Lithium you between produce a battery or Ghana ha. Inti an rich you Madam Kufuor, former Chief Justice. Or say we can't allow the lithium to be exported. Let them build a plant. We should build, not even them. State yankabo bosia. Na ye messy plant. Na ye process battery and Tony and Tekano. If we want partnership, public private partner, we can float shares. The floating shares are individual Ghanaians will come in. The profit and the benefit will stay in Ghana. We will not import batteries again. They can buy the residues remaining of the lithium, send them outside. But let's set up lithium battery processing plant in Ghana here, rather than giving to the white. And let's be specific. As also trade restrictions. This modern time, this kind of colo policies are passed and gone.
Colo policies near there.
That's the trade restrictions. It doesn't encourage competition.
How can we protect the local?
How do you protect it? Tackle a certain
planting for food and jobs here, but
so if you think the planting for food and job is
agree in the year to be the source of the raw material.
Yes, if you think the planting of food is a very good policy program, why do you restrict it? There will be enough food, so they will not consume the foreign one. That's a free market economy. Prices of goods, there will be competition in the market. You choose what to buy and what not to buy. The importer will personally stop importing because there's enough food in Ghana. There's enough food in Ghana. You are talking about you are banning importation of cars because they have set up plans of manufactured cars. But if the cars, the prices here are expensive, Ghanaian can buy. Leave the market, the invisible economy, invisible hands to work and stop that colo policy program. These are archaic. They are not working again. Be smart and influence the market activities. Use invisible hands to influence. Use policy directive to influence it and stop that colo. These are colo policies. They are updated. They don't use them again. We are a competitive world so that the consumer can have the chance, the opportunity to choose and buy what you want to eat at a time. You don't restrict it, and before they get the permit, they give some bribe. You give it to NPP people that you are the only person who can import rice. You are the only person who can do. No! I'm happy Parliament has gone against it. And opposition has gone against it. I wonder, okay, it's a lawyer. Sometimes you have little economic idea in terms of policy formulations. But the market forces decide it. Even our banking is a liberal banking. You can only use persuasion. So all that this man has come to do is lawless. What governor of Bank of Ghana can do is use persuasion to convince banks. You can't go and collapse somebody's banks. It is out of place. I am surprised somebody who has PhD in economics sitting there looking at these things. At this modern economic era, it is out of place. It's non-technical. So sorry, no go be back. You can only use persuasion because it is a private entity. It is a somebody. I didn't want to go man or more to man to say proper. Or si sanon kasi otieti omuka. I didn't want to go say tomato seller. I'm using tomatoes because my mother said tomatoes. Tomato seller. Remember, and go to bank and tell the bank, I'll not let you operate. You seize this asset and other things. You face the court. You are kanofulata. You are co-positioner. Or be court abre. So we should allow the economic system to work. If we can develop our model to manage it, we allow the well-accepted, tested one to work. You don't come. You are talking about OSP. He was lamenting.
Now, OSP, then you know, you are Greek, no?
Oh, it is a Greek, the me who say a podcast
organization planting for food and jobs, and yeah, just political.
No, slogan. Many I know let you. Abanwe, and yes, 7th January, I didn't be so. Why, first one?
Okay.
Comparatively, food inflation over 50%. At the time the policy was going on, Yatin will radio, Yehun will TV, but the impact. That's when students are saying that they don't have food to eat. Buffer stock, surprise of buffer stock, were going on strike because the food prices are expensive. Government can't pay. At the time they are doing food, whatever, what's the name? Planning for food and job phase 1. Buffer stock is not able to pay because the price of food are soaring up. They are expensive. Children are crying for food. Ghana here, the highest inflation era is food inflation. So what are the impact? And if you come today, it's less than 1 year, we are going for election. You are now bringing another policy package that when you analyze even the policy critically, you realize that they are undoable. How do you say, I'll give them land? And if the president for the giants of land, and where is the land? And he's going to give stipends to youth farmers. What did he do to NAPCO?
Okay.
Where dear no yeah man NAPCO your own thing? Yes, it's your mayor dear Kiashoma. NAPCO we anything. Forest guys who you are day. We have overgrown this thing in that near tourism.
Okay, madam same.
It's the you Muhammad saw the 24-hour economy on the back.
Okay.
Or say what he say, or say the first year in his government will be Commander Sugar Factory just to tackle the import of sugar, specifically to import of sugar. When you are doing policy, you have a target a specific areas of the economy where you have the competitive advantage. Specifically, no what targeting. We started Avaime rice because we want to tackle, even if you're able to address the rice import and sugar import, several billion of cedis will stay in our economy. We don't restrict them. When you restrict, what we say, the market will be choked up, shortage in the market. When you say yes, we're gonna have, and say Obenya Pan, tell what the deals at the end, but there was the food shortage in this country.
Okay.
All right,
how you lead 100.9? Doc, quick rebuttal before we move on.
It's very obvious. Me and this only shaker.
Only shaker.
Dr. Baumia successes in achievements and there. it's very obvious. And we understand the fact that what's now and you were able to at least credit Dr. Bawumia with something positive alone.
What is positive about drone? Drone is positive. You see, drone is positive.
Tell us one single thing your candidate did when he was a vice president. Tell us one single positive thing he chalked. I throw it to you. I dare you. Tell us one positive impact.
Are you a stranger?
When he Ghana vice president.
When he Ghana,
I can cede my time to you.
When he Ghana,
I can cede my time to you.
And you are a medical doctor. You don't know Legon
as vice president.
I'm saying the Legon medical center.
As vice president.
Legon medical center.
As vice president, I want to see Legon. As vice president.
Legon medical
vice president.
We have the highest economic growth, GDP growth in the world.
Oh, please. Oh, the economic advisory team, Prof. Mills, set it up. He did not even see Mr. Mahama competent to add him. We all know it.
Who told you? He was the leader of the economic management team.
Please.
No, he was the leader of the management team.
Please.
Economic council.
Relax.
No, the government have
been your blood is boiling. NDC under Prof. Mills did not have economic management team. NDC under Prof. Mills had economic advisory committee. And the economic advisory committee, Mr. Mahama was not part. The president then, Prof. Mills, did not see him competent to add him.
Why do you say so?
Oh, Prof. Mills,
if somebody is not part, let's assume that some people are not part of the NDC communication. Does that make them incompetent?
Please.
No, it doesn't make them incompetent.
This is a specified group.
Everybody and his expertise.
Please.
No, everybody and his expertise. Yes, the Prof. Mills have economic council. But who was implementing them?
Who was working? Who was implementing what?
What was the essence of not adding him?
Was he a finance minister?
No, what's the essence
of adding him? Was he a president of finance minister?
Even the finance minister wasn't part of it. You know, the finance minister, he wasn't part. Look at the list. He wasn't part of it. The finance minister wasn't part of it.
So you accept that now?
I'm saying that Dr. Dufour wasn't part of the economic council.
So you accept now Mr. Mahama and Kahon.
He was the vice president.
You accept.
I mean, he was the
president.
No, they own the government. I'm saying that, listen.
You accept.
No, the point is that they own the government.
You accept. Your blood is boiling.
President Bawumia and President Kufuor own the government.
Relax. Your blood is boiling. It is a fact. Let's see. Professor Mills had an economic advisory committee or council or whatever you want to name it. And it's a fact. The Prof. Mills did not see Mr. Mahama competent enough.
No.
To add him to it.
No, what he's saying is basically
I'll come back to
It is a fact that, yes, once again, from the GDP growth President Mahama inherited from his boss, it is a fact, so crashing that GDP growth. We were doing well from what President Kufuor handed over to Prof. Mills, and Prof. Mills at least sustained it, and it is a fact.
Improve it.
It's a fact. As Mr. Mahama, he crashed it.
So you are saying Kufuor crashed Mahama's effort? I say President Kufuor have crashed
before COVID. We were doing President Kufuor today. No,
even the crash, even the unperformance
blood is boiling.
Is the worst of President Kufuor.
Your blood is
Look
boiling.
at the figures
your
now.
blood is boiling. Relax. Your blood is boiling. Relax. You have your time. It's a fact. As the GDP growth for President Mahama inherited, he crashed it. And
what about
COVID,
President Kufuor?
And President Kufuor took it from the 3.4, 3.5, 3.6 now we share, to an average of 7.3.
At what
pre-COVID.
Year? At what year?
Pre-COVID.
And what we are medical doctor.
Yes.
When you give a medicine today,
please.
What will be the impact?
Oh, relax.
What would the actual
pre-COVID GDP growth, we're doing an average of 7.3%. That is more than double what we inherited. Even in the midst of COVID and the world economic prospects air crashing, in the midst of COVID, where inflation in America for the first time in over 50 years, from 1 point something to 6 point something, and then into the American geopolitical setting. One of the reasons why people say, or the Republicans, Abenya Ahwadin to even have the confidence on winning elections in America today is because of inflation. Maybe our inflation drew America. It shows the effect of COVID. Unless you want to be economical with the truth. Mr. Mahama, and now the code in America, a catcher we are seeing now say COVID, abe say, amai esika ahonding, and the EBR affected Ghana. Even in the midst of COVID and the Russia-Ukraine war, also prices of goods on international markets, a disruptive global supply chain system. Enema enko ye wo wiasisi kasem krampo no. Yesi ye nyaade krampo no. We are doing 3.2% of GDP growth. The best you left us was 3.6. This is our COVID way until your COVID na krampo enema nye no. And no any the best one you left us. And that is the economic prudence we can boast of. That we can boast of. The same President Mahama promised Ghanaians. Say meba I will at least achieve GDP growth of at least 8% during his time. He was not able to meet it. Budget deficit, or say meba, sebe, budget deficit will not exceed 5%. He never, at any point in time during his reign, was able to fulfill that promise. This same Mr. Mahama told Ghanaian youth, say he's not a magician to create jobs, and they also obey a ding. All of a sudden, a magician, I'll be creating jobs. This same Mr. Mahama went to the north, his own people, and promised them. So, Obeti region, Savannah region, Savannah people, Bisase region, now Mr. Mahama promised you. It took Dr. Mahamadou Bawumia and President Akufo-Addo to set up the Savannah region for the people of the north. And then, also as part of the hollow slogan now, also you are coming to rare livestock. Also, you are coming to rare livestock as part of the hollow slogan you have introduced. You injected $15 million into rearing livestock. A northern part of Ghana. The $15 million ekoye. I confirm. A single I confirm in the north. And then also obey. You couldn't keep our lights on. Obi Abba keep your lights on for 7 good years. Also obey. President Akufo-Addo and Dr. Mahamadou Bawumia can boast. Dr. Mahamadou Bawumia can boast. As vice president, this has been my initiatives. I have told you. Tell us one initiative.
Mention some of
one initiative of Mr. Mahama as vice president. You won't have anything to say. You won't have anything to say. There is nothing attributable to Mr. Mahama as vice president. This Dr. Mahamadou Bawumia can hit his chest and can tell Ghanaians that I have digitalized the economy and I have provided prospects for the economy. I have provided prospects for the ordinary Ghanaian youth or internet now or phone now or to me businesses on the phone. So Dr. Mahamadou Bawumia can boast as a mobile money interoperability and many time as vice president I was able to initiate it and implement it, the first of its kind in Africa, the sub-Saharan Africa. Dr. Mahamadou Bawumia can boast and tell you, say, and you can sit in your home and buy electricity.
Interoperability, no, it was initiated by the previous government. And
Mahamadou Bawumia can boast and tell you, in your homes, you can transact businesses on your phone. You can buy ECG, you can buy electricity on your phone, you can your NHI, you don't have to walk into their bank, your offices to go and register for NHI, you can do it on your phone. Dr. Mahamadou Bawumia can boast, at least, Papa Aliu Mahama of blessed memory, at least only if you cry or the discipline is Naniso, campaign against indiscipline. Tell me one achievement. Mr. Mahama can boast. I say it's my initiative. It is my initiative as vice president. You don't have anything to say. So you have and we can go into your social contract you had with Ghanaians, 2012 manifesto out the buyer. And now try to catch Ghana for. A catcher journalist say, be setting up journalist fund. Now the seed capital of 1 million Ghana cedi. And the fund anyway. You promised the people 2012 manifesto. It is the only one I can give it to you. You don't have your own manifesto. You promised the people of the Western region, say be setting up Western Development Authority and Development Authority anyway. The things you promised as president, Mr. Mahama, we know you. We know your track record. You told Ghanaian youth, now youth unemployment. And now a Ghanaian association about to get the for me unemployed association. You told them, see, you are not a magician to create jobs for them. They know you. The Ghanaian youth, they know Mr. Mahama and his track record. and yeah hollow slogan now be parody around no and they be change BB in the lives of the Ghanaian youth. Yes, we be so and can share one hour. So if you had anything to say, if you had anything to good to do for Ghanaian youth, and your own people in the north, you want to deceive them, and also by confirm amount $15 million. And now far. You
are repeating yourself.
One more be 300.
You are repeating yourself.
And I've never seen Parliament.
You are repeating yourself. You are repeating yourself. But I want to go straight to your initiatives.
Amman Bamia is dedicated as vice president. You have seen his blueprint.
You are repeating yourself.
And given the opportunity, we are a government. He's a person that will even do more.
All the talk, you have not been able to mention one initiative by Dr. Bawumia. I sat behind a TV. Yero Manibuama announced whatever. What is the name?
Interoperability.
I don't know.
Interoperability.
Yes, I sat behind a TV. I listened from Omanibuama. So if all the initiative that you are talking about is about digitization, then you are nowhere. You haven't done anything. When you go to Ghana Digital Center, you see President Muhammad name is written there. Spio Gabriel name is written there. No, the man hasn't done anything. Pay your submission now. Apart from running around the digital system that President Muhammad started. Pay your submission now. On me even crediting for drone. But Baumia has not done anything. When you go to the economy, it is totally failed. He took inflation 15 point something. Now it's over. He will want as much as 40 plus to 50. Before we are coming back, we are 30. When you go, you are talking about deficit management. Do you understand that? Sometimes you are medical now, you don't know. You are setting up your budget. And it is how much I can borrow to add up to it. So talking about deficit is not okay. Okay, look at it. Your figures are going against you. You see? All your this are going against you. You haven't done anything. You talking about sloganism. How many slogans you talk about planning for food and job? One this is one factory, 1 million every. You brought a lot of slogans. What have you achieved? How many of them have been able to achieve? You don't have the gas to talk about those things because who they are background to me. But we can count visible projects that are usually returned in Ghana here. That can be attributed to President Mahama. You are medical, let me associate you to a Legon Medical Center.
Is it Prof Mills here, Prof?
Let me associate. I'm associating the things that you are asking about President Mahama. What has he done? I'm saying that Legon was built by President Mahama. Lagos was built by President Mahama.
Has no history.
University of Ghana Medical School.
Medical School.
The
airport expansion.
Prof Mills.
Airport. Okay, let's go to Ridge.
Prof Mills.
No, Ridge. I mentioned the thing that we can associate to President Mahama.
But credit to me something.
Commanders to that country.
We know.
These are the things. We had an excess electricity. When the economy was expanding, the demand of electricity went high.
Okay.
It was physical. Please, you couldn't buy gas from Nigeria.
What time you couldn't buy gas?
We had Doomsor for 4 years. You couldn't buy gas from Nigeria.
You couldn't buy gas.
You couldn't buy gas.
You
couldn't buy gas from Nigeria. The Doomsor decided us to. We all know
the
why.
The only thing you can associate to President Akufo-Addo is the cathedral.
The only reason why.
But you can talk about
the only reason why.
You can talk about compress to President.
You could not buy gas from Nigeria. You subjected us into Doomsor for 4 years. You couldn't buy gas.
Okay.
We have implemented 1D, 1F. You have over 126 factories.
Okay, you move on. Evans. Okay, you move on. Now, are we making a headway in fighting corruption? Dr. Ezekiel Obeng.
Marjorie, yetie yenua penyin lawyer Kisi Ejaben and then the press encounter our media for a half year. Let me set the record straight. I say my kind the press release no. 3 times. There is nowhere the executive is drawn into his argument. There is nowhere the executive, there is nowhere the government is drawn into his argument. Utie yenua pani kisi ejabena. His frustration from his own perspective has got to do with the judiciary. And we run a system where we have separation of powers. Nana Danko Akufo-Addo as president or head of the government or executive no, and to mean sorry, enkotre judiciary nia onye. The judiciary no and someone sebi odebeto nanim any of facts around your argument, the processes or the procedure I will go through to arrive at whatever docket you brought in front of them. I'm not a lawyer, but at least this is basic law. And now, judiciary no, ebet senase, ashe, apense mu, datutu emraho, anhu the merit of your case or otherwise. Mr. Kissie Jabin, essay, or the nsem echo court, na judges bo nsem nigu. Na eno enamana frustrated. He went ahead to say, as office of the special prosecutor, or the Tony Hose obe engage the public into or court. Now any decision that comes, any major steps are obe taken as an office or as the prosecutor, no, or be encounter the public with a media release to explain from his perspective any judgment that comes, or to tell the public any action I will take. That is his stance as the special prosecutor. Now, through the engagement, colleague lawyers and some people of the bench, say the way I all call about the duty, sebi, from his release, some members of the bench are not happy. Now say, they might gang up or team up against him to frustrate his work. From all indications and the presser he released, he even touted the office of the special prosecutor as a flagship office to fight corruption. That is him giving credence to the creation of the office. And if he touts the office as the flagship office to fight corruption, then it means that the idea, the thoughts that went into the creation of the office is a laudable one. Inti yemfa Nanado Danko Akufo-Addo ene na aban abo emma omo ese one created the office of the special prosecution or the prosecutor. Through Mr. Ejabin, he believes that the office of the special prosecutor is the office that can fight corruption in all spheres of our lives as Ghanaians. He believes in the office and the mandate of the office. And nunti ena niema bi enko ye manoa. Otena ase ne bo enyo so because yama office no to me to investigate corruption and corruption related activities. That is the mandate, that is the power. Our office no ekura through Mr. Kissie Jabin. It shows the commitment on the part of the government to fight corruption. Because Mr. Kissie Jabin GD said the office of the special prosecutor has the powers. And powers no eye 2 million aban of the day through His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. Edi ashe office no kena ese mi di 2 million way oman no mi gina oman no anamu di 2 million way ashe office nensa go and fight corruption. Enunti once again Mr. Kissie Jabin recognizes the powers ye ama office no. And the powers did not come out of nothing. It took the bold step of His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo to set up the office of the special prosecutor. And even members of his own government, the ex-minister of sanitation, and on the office no ewo case almost fighting to the extent where onwa through the press no say some aspects of case to him borders on money laundering until he even invited the FBI from America to come and assist and there is an ongoing investigation into the aspect that he believes borders on money laundering. It shows you the leeway to me, or any the fact that the government supports his work, such that an ex-minister of this government, Yenim, the tussle between Honorable Cecilia Blandapa and the special prosecutor. It shows that Abino does not meddle in the affairs of the special prosecutor. Today, the Controller and Accountant General and then the office are collaborating with the Office of Special Prosecutor to take into consideration certain suspected malpractices on our payroll. The government of the day has given the leeway for the office to function. The problem is with the judiciary. The judiciary is not the executive. The judiciary is not the government. So there is no government interference in his work. And from his opening remarks, he's trying to say, fight, against the judiciary. It is him against the judiciary. From all indications, if you read his presser, it's him against the judiciary. To the extent that his own colleague lawyers are even advising him, so he feels he's in the fight alone. Of course, and not Nanko Ekufado, and are buying into me in country judiciary how to rule on a case. The government of the day cannot tell the judiciary certain things are omunye because the separation of powers.
Okay.
No share in the press now. The first two paragraphs, no Krampwajia to say, or now he had only one staff. The office no a 3-bedroom, and then when you an office complex, they continue to renovate and renovate from his own presser. It shows that Abai has resourced the office. Now, a staff strength of 1 today, or a staff strength of 249 in his office. He has a complete set of staff. Abai Etiomoka through the office. Now, he is even extending the office. He is even extending the office to other regions. He has earmarked Kumasi, Takoradi, Tamale, and other major cities. All setting up in the offices. Now he's in the process of getting financial clearance to even employ more people.
Okay.
So from his engagement, let's set the record straight. The government has supported him. The government has removed him to a more suitable office. The government has provided him the financial clearance to have a staff strength of 249 people working for the office. He's seeking to extend his activities and offices to other regions. And he's in the process of securing clearance to employ more people. And here, in terms of office space, here, in terms of staff, Abai has provided for the Office of Special Prosecutor. And it is very clear, from the various cases now or investigating, there is nowhere governments are standing to frustrate his works. His works and his frustration is with the judiciary, which the government of the day has no hand in manipulating or interfering. Let's set the record straight. But we hope that this tussle between him and the judiciary will stop. Now, you follow due process. Now, you encourage the fight against corruption. Once again, if the office of the special prosecutor SOCD your minor and SOCD because he believes that the office is capable. The powers office through the executive now. President Kufuor
office now get fund project NDC are buying the
The office is a get fund project. NDC ACE are buying a buy on share MPP and share NDC. If there is any government facility, you bet to me that office now, irrespective of who built it, irrespective of which regime NAC, it is the government commitment. Obama on the needed office space and the staff strength to work for which the government has done for him.
Okay, Evans.
Me pese asana beto aso pese me kachi yura kiseja bin say on tona kuma ntuni yim yura mahama ba obeye adwuma yura mahama na oka frɛ odobin braka MP so meboa no na omwa no expose corruption in his government. That's somebody who is committed to fight against corruption. Mekai say, Ansani Kufuado Bebano. Also, but he will use the Anas tenant to work. Or buy an Anas, we don't hear from Anas now. Now, me who say, you are Jabin, the special prosecutor. When you are trained, because of your training, you are engulfed with sanity, and you can't sit when you are doing the right thing, and that's what is worrying Iraqi Jabin. But me assurance can person me the man is on chain. Ghana for more Martinia 2025. Yura Mahama Ba. It doesn't matter. We are not there to corrupt. We are not there to steal. We encourage him to work and work very well. Do you know Yura Kufuado or the special prosecutor number? All right. But the first prosecutor is the chief serpent of corruption. So
Mother serpent
of corruption. Therefore, he resigned. When I listen to the president, I will be cry beside and say, so are you resigning? He came to us and say, my Danny a ankonam na baby anem rebeduno obeko. I want to assure him that Ghanaians are behind him. I want to assure him that President Mahama is behind him. And we are going to use him 2025 when Ghanaians give us the mandate. Every corner, every penny that have been spent in this country, even the collapse of the banks, will allow the special prosecutor to go in. Banks. Why did you collapse the banks? I'll fight and fight to the letter. It's the collapse of the banks. Why should you just them get out and close some people's bank? That's bullshit.
Hey, okay.
Especially Papai UT Bank. At his prime age. Because me be a school, na me nemu awufie. Sans no will be a bank set here. Buy Papa in your way. So collapse, German collapse. The Unibank. Now what gunu?
Okay.
I am calling the special prosecutor into this one. I know say who I was talking to somebody. I wanted to go to court with it. But Omo catches the chain after the election. Because it's not fair. And you are a Jabin is clothed with the law. And he can't sit down when he's not doing the right thing. That shows how weakened Yoruba Baumia is. You say you have done first degree in economics, second degree in economics, PhD in economics, but look at our economy today.
Okay.
You have been expert and you have been complaining. I want to do the right. No, let me finish talking. I want to put the economy in shape. But Yoruba Kufuado is not allowing me. Why you come? What say economy no? If you will say my president. And you will Kufuado because you know what you want to do.
Abandoning your commitment in the fight against corruption.
May say he's not committed. He has packed the court with his cronies. Oh no, near kosi hiano. The legal invisible hands no, and all the yeduma. The legal invisible hands. Anke you run on kasamayam. Kana say a sense you will Kufuado time chinti. Ni se bedim kunim o se wa ya ankonam otundum bi kra ka ho na bebie odini bedru no, meaning there's nobody supporting him. But if nobody would have supported him, the chief justice and the president should have supported him. But nobody is supporting the guy. He's a corrupt person. How can you help you to fight corruption? He was deceiving Ghanaians to get power. All that President Kufuado said was to deceive Ghanaians and get power and do otherwise. You were talking about, sir, the economy grow. You were medical when you give medicine today. The effect you give me a week or two. What investment did your government do? Investment, Ben. May say, what did your investment? Investment. No, it's a rebuttal I want to make. It's a rebuttal.
100.9 03022 and 03022 57902 03022 57902. Na yeni wa bien mache. Hello macho. Okay. Me yafa we here. Macho aha.
Yeah, bro, Magari.
Yetio.
The firm idiot, make a free center area. What your menu of idiot, media adore for me. Where he for sound, the one do agree, and a case in Diamwa, a 2 hours, a quaffree, a big one off. And a Jawa man bacterian, a complex Kwame Japan, the beer will be saying a bobo in and a bumbo at the man. Minia NDC, you know, can't seem to be, but media back one may Emma a year or can say, or they say, branding for food and job, or more, starting and MPP buy and woman be drain home of Konyaba. Now, just a mother, Hana, they say, Gana Hana, you want to be Diano Muna Mustati. Now they are Musi, or they say, free education, yeah, Muya who advert over 200. Musa Muna Mustati and who Koneba. And then planning for food and job, so Muna Mustati and MPP have changed. Nana Muni Sabi, Ajena Sabi, Yamani Yana. We were Mubaka independent, the Kramona Muji, Ewogana, and MPP, NDC, Mama, Oka in Viangopi, and the Wunya ASEM Bia Mameka, planning for food and job on Stati. Nani Oka is guaranteed the 2 hoye day.
Okay, let us say. Maybe I mache. Yetio.
Again, we look at the pro from Coperia. You are no famous aka the defense election. Minister of City, Samikia, a CSP, honorable, that was this man or bad in for your country, for no so Patiano, for no so. And I took up pen at something. You, for no so before, but we are children for running. The American, you say, Yedika, not that no for a putuasi. A human way in year, papa, and Kabul, you have a better body about to pay attention. They say, body on and on, now, my sister, the other 2 months, with a new body on a good one. They just say, planning on planning, plant and food, and a year to my papa. As you can maybe get to bring a bank, anybody, and why then, who might get with a can of credit, who no man watch it. And if it is that they are a banana, if I hear Juma 2024, you want to because now Emranti and this time no pay quick money, one person farm and on doing or quick money in one person on the years every month. But I'm not saying that do be a pile and a papa dear Petita day I'm okay. So I started Juma and I'm starting here and and again and the Mubuna Bamo everything. I better Jumana Koto.
Okay.
Cow being connected and get Jata for pro.
Madam say, Beba Jomache.
Major Magari.
Yetio.
Majari, my memoir basso. We did the offer key, make us a cycle. And then I feel Kutuma Bana yet for a country not for Momoa Kutuna, Itarita, I'll do it. I'm also a bit myself, about to be delayed. And this mine or can she be said? What's the between Buzan as a vice president? Mahama, one time, but then this is the case, but we have a 1 year, I know why you're in the room. After I was in the code. Cano Cascano, the Coco you crank. You got to your drone. We are Mamma who said, more movements organizer can say drone, a very man of walking, nagging. Now, or come back, Satin. Offer, Momo time when this is a bank to be. I'm a former president, capital bank account, former president, Mamma Discacushi. Or why you can use it. The man was a big one thing, no more than a scanucushi. There's a man young who him that. The piano to see when you keep your Gideon Pajama Cranny. Tell you, boy. Huh? Yeah, one day, so one country, the NDC in the party and say, you say, no, Nado, next year, that's what I'm to do. Man and Panaki in Fagana. Come here, and this is Ghana and Bianco. I'm on one to us, and next year, you have 2 minutes and this is kind of a bar. You want to know what one. If you say, can you put a job on another year, so I'm going to go on one. Because I need to, I'm going to head you.
Okay. Let us say. Let us say. My main way match.
My just my Jerry.
So for mommy, it's you.
My Jerry, and I'll pay the way now. The American say, you have a party, see a jabbing, a Joan was feeling. Well, who could go for friendship? na the press conference o ba be this man ma so be ye ejuma no ye hu nipa with me train na say it is the ko gina court no e ka say e kwan ya wo fa so a wunya we ni bra na be chire mu da and no so to papa so because conference no ye no de e fa so be ni kwa so ba press conference na me nua ya be man this ni kasa no was say party no ko position na keno forata e be ko court sa na mbi before come ho ya me nwanwa and the way you go soon na mo ayen ti fa na ko gina court na besom dream course we in this time bas brandon kwampo antimi anko court ina eto na ya show mo sa e be do no dream message de won kan e ope Ghana for sanya na beto be 2024 na sa 24 economy ni de never nya de John Dramani Mahama e bit na in tombe to Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia so amankunidi IMPT
okay
like that ni nyamenyaju
that's it me pa cho ma chi o
Yeah, you know, na.
Get you, Bema.
Yo, Bema, that's it. Dear, mo discuss it, baby. Actually, imagine someone will be boss wa ya na me di yawo ebi na abranti ya penny o minim NDC ni eka se na will be bank. I would have some kind of mommy nyina ya ntwe adwene ko ne nhwa de say. What could be a bank? Mimi di misika betoa and a woody nyamfa so and a wadi sikano ayeka na bang e di sika bro se gina fashion no I say this sika dia koto to estate ni ade they say I will me special prosecutor what ye ntia na ne wura fi baby o sha ase ma what say this sika what dia koto to estate ma enipa dodo o musika gugo no wo mo ba bank o so mbe sika na o mu nya wo musika na aban akusa adwuma na mo bank for no mo bank no no ne adwuma for no mo yesai e no mo anu musika eku bank won so yesai wo mo we no mo hwe dodo no na si agye wo mo e ma wo adwuma gu a mo campaign ma wo mo a wo mo bank aboye kro no hwe de wakwa dem na atu esie no se hwan ma me Ghana for me se mo ma me 1 million cedis pe 1 million pe na mo de mo fa me nkotum emfie dodo ato esia ne kodem no na me mra me dimisika se wo ba ajapade wo bi paazo ya anye 4 years NDC pape wo bete say party na pomu ode insist so inti apade na nanu ya ba ko na nakufu ado wo mo etu wo mo kotum mu for NCA for yi na ni krom hi natural letter ba se na pomu ode insist so inti yenya no ni echa no ehia for ne wu kam etikana ehia for
okay
me ntwe we nom
that's it Bobby that's me for last one match
on monyan for my Jerry
get you
ya from ya banya mi kasa fra chama zenu ami se ndra mi be hu ma me no ko me hu chuma ni
abana je say
ya mi adumo na oswe
ya mi ado
yo mayamba ma baso Jerry yankasa ya former treasurer Alhaji Hondo anapa we mikiano Jerry wadaruma bank here aban we buy egu ye no na saying na no mu hia anta bank le jira ni naso Jerry wadaruma
I think it was around 9 billion yeah
Jerry ana hi no mu use di gu bank no
21 billion.
Majari, common sense common sense. Banking here 9 billion. And they are survival. What you mean you 21 and you go banks no. Now be catch them so you competent. Now they are some fund of it to catch Ghana for. Majari, in the we afford that. Ghana for cry you say and drop cry farmers day. Just a buy that is now papa yi ni sa wa tai no enne galam say at time ko funjuma Majari o je kwanya na nado dan ko akufu ado abebu o ma we dia Majari yemu bi yeti wa na yewura aku papa we ya be wezi ye tama Ghana ma obi ani wa wanya mfaso afiri amanwo we mu je kan say 2024 election no hwe wa titrem na o di ato aba o propaganda samu biemo
Bye. Medase. And a medi friend is see. Obi be of Ribia Medase. I mean, Evans, final comment.
Mintia, my national chairman, you are saying Katia.
Okay.
Na mintia me flag bearer. Me pese because Ghana for mama emi 2020. You were Kufuado call round. The campaign sword no carte.
First you na me time as.
Ne sword no carte. Na odi ye ka bisa se baby o carte sword no. Ne hin na project ben ye tumi aye. Se si as so the youth start. Obema nkrofo sika. Planning for food phase 2. We have planning for food phase 1 the 50% inflation buy no. Planning for food phase 2 the 100% inflation beba. Enti mo ma ni na ho emre na so. Mo ma ne nkatena fie. Na sika na wa abejeje no nke yi ano. Anu nti na opeso de yegura ba umi abeche ho no. Information kure nya akura say at the time they were in government no, it was not talking terms with Dr. Baumia.
Is amo.
Me na me catro. Now there was strong conflict between the two of them.
And no one I want
to you about me abetra no covenant.
I'm not aware.
All press enti na me catro. All press you about me be wini. Ghana for mama ye ni na ho.
Evans better say.
So cutting apa ho.
Better say. Doc.
It's a very obvious NDC ni message. Na senior Mr. Mahama tie 2012 to 2016 on Sesaya. He dey say Mr. Mahama on Sesaya or country say he's not a magician to create a job. We should do so. I Ghana for da move from fear 9 and then for almost far home hospitals. Cholera crampo Mr. Mahama and to me and provided drips NORS AMA hospitals. It's now Hoshema Ghana for 200 a year from cholera. Now Osha Mamu Bonnie and Mr. Mahama de buy. Now and ne or so person baby mo. Sebi. Se kwatre kwa so we show wataria. No what see anything. MPP when they amamu share yensa. Shenkwala Eco School. Over 1.4 million Ghanaian children anya access to free SHS. Oshe school a dime ISC ewo every secondary school ewo maimu ko nyinam ko kumawu ko dansoman ha TVET centers be 10 across the country. STEM schools see 10 across the country. Model schools they say GSS no ye mpesi wo ko classroom na wo kosua science na keke. Laboratories in the name of model schools across the country. Eda boa adisua ye school kono ewo maimu enya de ketwa. Osha agenda 111 achiase de aye complete ye baby ano enti Ghana for enhu se MPP die o se ade yo o de share yensa ye will be can tete will be can tete will be chere. We can tell you we have the evidence to show. Okay, NDC has nothing for us. Na achievement ni na print o green book mu e ka chere se wa ye kwan from Obuase to Ebri e wo book mu ye de akwan no o wani so ene ofa ofanko to samom akwan da ho okọ ehe akwan da ho akwan eastern corridor bibia ayeye onya gide we mu na ne omde man yetumi yeye no yebetumi aye amana bro so
Dr. Ezekiel Ejikumoben a member of the MPP communication team obaha and Evans Samo a member of the NDC communication bureau on so baha within the McJerry or AGYEMANG be sorry na DJ Talks they take you ba ASEM dika and the bro nyame adoma next week. Next week, ye be nominated no maybe next week, more fan chairman. Next week, meet member. Then, the following week, you know, you have better say. There, the Asemidika, na ye dear bro. Yami, insure BBA, DJ Talks, it take you over. Yeah, call.
Yanu me bibrime, ye nyako fatu yesuo. Etuo tuesi bemabo. Okunkunim kofe jinane so akwara padi kokwe hu ede damana mana echire no